Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fight, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay. Flag in hand, fury in eyes, screams of pride, ignoring lies, iron grip, ruthless and cold, American dream, fierce and bold, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart, no retreat, no surrender, bulldozers force, a savage offender, red, white, blue, burning bright, in the chaos he finds delight, blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed, the theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage again, legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart. Blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed, the theft, freedom's price, a crimson blade, bulldozer, savage the fade, legend made, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart.
Well, good evening, everybody. Took the camera just a brief minute to actually kick in there. Hello. Hope you guys are having a decent day. Sorry about no show on Tuesday. So it's been a couple days since the last stream, but we are back tonight. Welcome to the Dozer Den. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. If you have not done it yet, give it all you got. Destroy that like button with all your energy. Smash it hard. Thump it. Caress it. Lean in real close to that like button. Whisper sweet nothings. and then just smash the hell out of it. And I get it. We get excited about that like button. I understand. You want to be very, very proud killdozers here in the Dozer Den, and you want to make sure that your voice is heard. Well, if you must hit it more than once, make sure you hit it at least thrice. For if you hit it twice, it will cancel it out, and we do not want that. We are currently streaming to Rumble, X, the dozerden.locals.com, CommieTube, BitChute, and Pill.net. Thank you so much to everybody who watches this show tonight. Appreciate the heck out of you watching this, taking time out of your day, evening, afternoon, morning, whatever time it may be, wherever you may be. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Dozer Den. If you haven't followed this channel yet, go ahead and follow BillDozer74. Follow me over on the dozerden.locals.com as well. I do have a Discord as well. That is in the link to the Discord is in the description. It should be a current link. I did copy that earlier. And yeah, follow me in all the places. Follow me on X at BillDozer74 ___. Probably able to search Dozer74 there as well. Guys, you want to know the cool thing about locals? We only have 2 paying members over there right now. So right now, I can only stream for about 30 minutes on locals. When I get more paying members on locals, I'll be able to stream more time there. The cool thing about it is the live chat, pretty much one of the most free speech places you can be on the internet. Only restrictions, no direct threats of violence, and no genitalia. So I think that's fairly easy to attain those standards. So yeah, it's pretty easy to do. But yeah, guys, we not gonna lie, I would have been useless on Tuesday. Had a bit of a family emergency that we had to address, and took the day off work the next day and some of the day today, and think we got it all ironed out. At least I hope so. I really hope we got it ironed out. It's just very, very frustrating. But, you know, life sometimes deals you a crap sandwich, as I say, quite often. And I got to find a way to make that palatable. And that's one of the things that I do here on this show, guys. We talk about usually 3 to 4 news topics, then try to have a bit of a palate cleanser at the end. And the main goal of this channel is information, and hopefully in a bit of an entertaining way. Infotainment, some might call that. If I can help make a crap sandwich just a little bit more palatable for you guys, well, I feel like I've done something important. So that is the goal. That is the purpose. Excuse me. And there are some really cool ways that you can support this channel. You can subscribe to BillDozer74 for a measly $5 a month, guys. That's just a couple sodas a month to support a small-time creator like moi. You could also Rumble Rant, use Venmo or Cash App donations. Those are a few things that you can do to support this channel monetarily. But if you can't do that, I completely understand. I too am a broke bitch. So you can share this stream out with your loved ones, your friends, your family, your ex-girlfriends, boyfriends, these are them friends. I'm not judging. Just leave the animals and the children out of it and we'll be just fine. I really hope the show is actually going right now. I should probably check on that. I'm gonna feel real silly if it hasn't been. All right, we're good. Things are rolling. Awesome sauce. Entropy Nomad, fuck you. So he's gonna miss the first 30 minutes, so you won't miss anything. This is my special time. This is my chit chat time. Checking in with you guys. Checking in with you amazing killdozers here in the Dozer Den. Guys, if you want to be an extra special killdozer and you do subscribe to BillDozer74, your name will be lit up in the most beautiful shade of a MAGA red. It's called the Rumble Rash. It's one of the best rashes you can get, and the only treatment is America. And you will get access to a plethora of amazing, wonderful, subscriber-only emotes. I spent hours, well, almost 2 hours, compiling all of those amazing subscriber-only emotes. We have a decent selection of non-subscriber emotes as well because, you know, I'm a generous and giving human being at times. And I will share some emotes, breadcrumbs of emotes, if you will, with the plebs. Oh, man. I think I've got Bobble Trump's hat figured out. His tinfoil hat. I think I've got it pretty much on there as good as it's going to get. This is my co-host right here, Bobble Trump. Lady Dozer fashioned him that lovely foil hat. It's one of the best. Honestly, it's one of the best bobbleheads I've ever seen. Many people have said that. It's quite wonderful. But yeah, guys. Yeah, a lot of stuff going on in the past few days that I wish didn't happen. A lot of knee-jerk responses to things, in my opinion, but I understand to an extent why. Um, but definitely not happy. Definitely been praying a lot. Had a good long conversation with God out on the back porch last night at around 2:30 in the morning or so, because I never developed an adult circadian rhythm, and that's just kind of how I roll. I usually fall asleep around 2:30 or 3 o'clock in the morning. So, but I need to probably start going to bed earlier. That probably would help some things. But yeah, I think we're gonna be all right. Been praying on it, hoping things are gonna go well, but is what it is. You roll with the punches. Um, One of the bro dozers managed to catch a couple huge largemouth bass, just chunkers. He said one was 8.5. Now he didn't have a scale with him, so there may be a little bit of a stretch. Maybe stretching it just a little bit, just a little bit. But good looking bass though. Good looking bass. It's a muddy pond, so the bass don't have that pretty green color, but they're nice and healthy. So that's the big thing. But I am going to get a damn stream set up to do some good fishing. We're going to actually tear some fish up. I would have on Easter, but I did not. The wind was just insane. This time of year, the wind's absolutely nuts. And I've got my tripod back from the other bro dozer. This was a different bro dozer that caught the big old bass. So, but finally got my tripod back, so we'll be able to set that up. And I've got a selfie stick to control my phone too. So might be doing some hiking stuff, maybe walking around some of the federal or state parks around here. Kind of just something that I've been kicking around with the weather getting nicer. Something that I'm probably going to be doing. Oh man. But yep. We've been rolling with it, guys. Rolling hard. Let me check on my X peeps, make sure things are going well over there on the X machine. Looking like it probably is. Let's check. Oh, by the way, we are at 3,685 followers on X. Not really sure why, but to everybody that is a follower over there who might be watching this stream there, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate the heck out of you. And I would really appreciate it to anybody watching on X. Follow me on Rumble. We are currently at 861 followers. I don't think we've had a new follower in the past couple days, but we are at 861 followers on Rumble, and I would really love to get to 1,000. I know we can do it. I really know we can. We're going to get there at some point. And I am currently in the Rumble Creator Program. So if you do not have Rumble Premium yet, guess what? Every now and then I will do about an hour or so of Rumble Premium content. Being as I am in the Creator Program, I've got to get at least 5 hours of that premium content in a month. And when you do click that red Get Premium button, you can do $9.99 a month, or you can do $99 for the year with, I think the promo code Studio is still active. And what's up, Maven, with the repost and a red pill over there on pill.net. Thank you so much for your support there. You can subscribe over there on pill.net as well. I do have one current active subscriber, Chops ITMC. Shout out to the two locals, Sanglant and Sanglant 86 and Neurodivergent 1. And then I've forgotten the monthly subscribers on Rumble, but you know who you are. I know I think Entropy Nomad might be one. And then Yanni Fangs was the first one, of course. And I think there are 4 or 5 others. And I'm blanking on your names right now. Salt Dumpster, maybe? And I think, I don't know. Harry Toe. What's up, man? Good to see you. Harry Toe 2, not to be confused with Harry Toe 1, 1 and then 3 through 10. Just saying. It's one of the best toes. Honestly, you wouldn't even want to shave it. Wouldn't even want to shave it. Good licking ass. Well, thank you, Harry Toe. I wasn't expecting such a compliment, but thank you so much for that. Right out the bat, gay as hell, Harry Toe 2. Gay as hell. Nice looking bass. Have you never noticed the bass behind me? That bass has been there for a while. I put it up months ago. I got a bigger bass outside in the other room. I'm thinking about moving it in here to put it. Might move that painting over there. I don't really know. I don't want the bass to fall on our heads though. If we ever get into, But anyways, So the reason that the deer head isn't quite directly over the bed, but yep. But yeah, guys, sorry about missing out on Tuesday, but had some important things that I had to take care of, had to get ironed out, had to get on top of, and just needed to be there for family. And I think we're leveling out. I think we're hopefully leveling out, but not going to get into specifics. Just um, would rather not be dealing with it, just to be honest with you. But like I said, I'm making that crap sandwich just a little bit more palatable. Trying to, anyways. I was sitting there praying on the back porch last night, and I mean, I was talking out loud to myself slash God, and just like trying to figure things out and reasoning it out. And I'm a big why guy. So I try to think of the why and I try to find the reason because everything does happen for a reason. I strongly believe that. And so just kind of musing about trying to find the why. You know what I mean? Yeah. Could drive yourself crazy with that type of talk. Because you know what? Sometimes we just can't understand. And we never will. Because sometimes you just don't understand why things happen the way they do. Sometimes things are beyond human comprehension. But I don't think that's the case in this instance. It's not that bad. But oh man, guys, but we do have a show tonight. We have some topics. We have an update from a story that we did just a few days ago on Monday. Judge Cannon or Canyo. I didn't see a little one of those little squiggly marks over the end, so I think it's Cano. Yeah, I mentioned why hasn't there been an indictment yet? Because he was harboring an illegal alien. Well, son of a bitch. Him and his wife have been arrested now for harboring an illegal gang member. Huzzah! We spoke it into being, everybody. Good job. Y'all did it. Oh man. Excuse me. But yeah, it's apparently so that is going to be probably at the top of the show. That's going to bump down the next story that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about OMG. James O'Keefe coming in hot yet again. What's up, Slidey Pie? Good to see ya. And Cyrene Pickle. I did not say hello to you, Cyrene Pickle. Hello. Nice to see you. I didn't know Cyrene Pickle was a girl. I should probably look at profile pictures every now and then. I've assumed genders the whole time. How dare I? How dare I? But I'm not going to lie, guys. I am looking forward to the Saturday show. If you didn't know, the Monday, Tuesday, Thursday shows are typically mostly news heavy. Saturday show, on the other hand, we have one topic that we focus on for a good part of the stream, and maybe like an hour or so, maybe two. And then after we get done with that topic, as we're doing that, we're taking music video requests on Saturdays for the Dozer Den DJ Hour, where I take your music video requests and we can rock out with our cocks out or jam out with your clams out, whatever you may be. But there's only two options. There's only two. It's either jam out with the clam out, rock out with the cock out. One of the two. You must pick one. And to those who may be intersex and watching, well, it's very, very unlikely. There's very, very few of you. Pick one, damn it. Pick one. Oh my goodness gracious. We got ourselves a freaking raid from Squall Rush. Thank you so much for the raid. My goodness.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there.
Thank you so much, Squall Rush. Guys, if you have not yet checked out Squall Rush's content, give him a check. Follow his channel. And to anyone who may be coming over here from Squall Rush's stream, go ahead and give me a follow. Give it a chance. Let me earn your viewership. I've been told I'm somewhat entertaining at times, and kind of informative. Infotainment. That's the name of the game here in the Dozer Den. Oh yeah. God, I haven't watched one of your streams in a while, Squall Rush. I feel bad about that. I love watching the Dragon Ball Z content, for sure. The anime content. I mean, if you can't tell, guys, I'm a bit of a weeb at times. There's just some anime stuff up there, just a little bit. What's up, Trish? One lovely mod in the chat. Thanks so much for joining. Appreciate you guys. And thank you to those who were sending prayers for the family emergency. I sincerely appreciate the heck out of the good intentions and the prayers from others. I do believe there's power in prayer. So, sincerely, thank you guys for that. I appreciate you, and that does help. So, oh man. But yes, that judge and his wife, the one that I think was probably looking for some Latin love on the side. You don't just find a random illegal alien gang member and move him into your little side house and then the husband's just taking pictures, being all cool judge guy. Yeah. No, your wife was getting plowed by Jorge. That's probably what was happening. Just saying. That's the most likely outcome of what was going on there. Oh man. And then we're gonna get in, like I said, after that, we're gonna get into an OMG story. An OMG story where James O'Keefe has an expose on a fella named Nicolas Turza, a branch chief with the Department of Defense under Pete Hegseth, who was saying all kinds of very unfriendly things about the Department of Defense right now. Not a nice guy. And it'll tie really well into the next topic about the attacks on Pete Hegseth in general. His comments are kind of an attack on Hegseth to an extent, but before we get into the direct the transition into that, we are going to look through a thread on X that Mike Benz, that shiny-headed son of a gun. Like I said, I think Mike Benz probably waxes his chrome dome in order to keep to reflect any red dots that may be pointing at him, because the man knows too much and he says too much. Just my opinion. Stupid Rumble keeps freezing on you. Oh no. Are you on the app or are you on the browser? Because sometimes that'll be the difference. Yes. Yeah, a judge was arrested for helping illegal aliens. Color me shocked. Shocked indeed. I was asking, I asked about it. I'm like, why hasn't there been an indictment? This seems like he's aiding and abetting a felony. Just saying. There's the locals and the Discord link. Guys, check it out. Rumble Studio is actually working tonight. My God. How about that? I definitely was missing being able to pull up the chats because you're using browser. You might want to try app. I'm particularly fond of the app, but that's just what I do. That's what I do. Totally going to pick clams out for the Dozer DJ on Saturday. Hell yeah, Harry Totu. Let's get it. Oh man. Some Rumble has been having some updates, and Rumble's actually been making waves. They're like I think Chris Pavlovsky said that they're in the top 50 of Bitcoin investors or mixed up with Bitcoin. I can't remember exactly what the X post was. Hell, I might go check on that real quick because Rumble is making waves. They're moving on up, in my opinion. And I mean, I'm partially, I'm a little bit biased, but I believe in this platform, so I'm going to keep shouting out. Let me check real quick on that. There he is. Oh my God, there's so many that are trying to be Pavlovsky, but they're not Pavlovsky. I thought I had ordered a Rumble shirt with the pirate hat with like the skull with like the crossing swords. Nope. Definitely didn't do it. I was right there at it, but then I didn't do it. I don't know why. Ooh. Interesting stuff. Don Jr. was kicking butt earlier. Okay, so yeah, he said that. Let's check this out really quick. I think it was a cuck judge. Yep. I think the chat may be way behind where the stream is, but hey, at least we're here. So if I'm not addressing what you guys are saying at the right time, my apologies. But yes, I would say Harry Totu. It sounded like a cuck judge. But check it out. Apparently, according to HODL 15 Capital, it looks like Rumble is a top 50 public company when it comes to the Bitcoin. SBTC is Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin holdings? Solid. Where's Rumble at? Tesla's right up there. Boom. Where's Rumble at? It's not at the bottom. Reading is hard. Oh, it might be the ticker thing there. I can't see them. He said they're in there, though. That's pretty cool. What's up? Pulled my groin. Good to see you, bud. Thanks for joining this episode of the Dozer Den. If you guys have not yet smashed the like button, go ahead and do what you do best. Smash that like button. Give it all the energy that you can. It's very important, guys. And if you haven't shared this stream out, you can on Rumble. You can repost this stream. Commenting in the comment section helps as well. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. That is what you can do to help if you are unable to do something like what Trish posted here. Look at that. Subscriptions, guys. You can either decide to subscribe or you can gift out subscriptions to your fellow chatters here in the Dozer Den. Shower the chat with your love, guys. Some say spray the chat with your love. You know, it's whatever you want to do. Whatever verb you want to attach to that, you do you. Just saying. Oh, man. But, yep. We're back tonight. And should be back on Saturday. I don't see anything. I don't foresee any issues that might cause me not to stream on Saturday. But again, I do apologize for not being here on Tuesday. What's up, Urs 8243? Hello to you as well. Let's see. The next topic we're going to get into after, because the OMG and the thread that I was talking about with Turza, it illustrates the globalist NGO attachments that Turza has and gives you kind of perspective of why he may be saying some of the things he says. So it kind of gives more context and there's elaboration there to give you kind of an insight into where his mind's at. So that's why I thought that was kind of important to tie that in. And then we're going to, we've got a clip from Crowder about Hegseth that's pretty solid. Crowder, I will say this. Crowder getting onto Rumble. I'm just saying he's getting quite a bit spicier, and I like it. Like it a lot. What's up, Lord of the Ree? Why does the guy in the thumbnail look like the dad from Young Sheldon? That is supposed to be JB Pritzker eating papusas, because that will be the next topic. The third topic, JB Pritzker beefing with El Salvador. He is going to throw his weight around. The rather rotund governor of Illinois has decided to put some pressure on El Salvador. Is it going to do anything? No, it's not. It's all about the Abrego Garcia, guys. He loves his pupusas. Apparently, it is a delightful dish from El Salvador. We've got a little bit of an update. We're going to talk a little bit about it. The media still lies and lies and lies and lies and lies about the Abrego Garcia thing. They won't stop. And the left and the plebs that aren't engaged in this just say, they deported an innocent little Maryland man. Oh my God. Can you believe it? This rampant abuse of human rights here from the Trump administration. If they can deport him, they're gonna deport you. No, the fuck they aren't. I may be short and brown, but I'm not an illegal alien. You stupid people. Absolutely stupid. I just don't understand. Pull my groin. Hey, had most exciting thing happen yesterday. DVD exploded in my player last night. Sounded like a capacitor blowing. Disassembling drive to clean out. Damn, that sucks. You still have a DVD player? I've got one somewhere, but I forgot. Y'all remember y'all remember when it was so cool? When it was so cool to have a DVD player / VCR. Like, you had the DVD and VCR and the TV. It was a trifecta. You could watch things, you could play DVDs, you could play VHS, you could record things that you probably shouldn't have when you're a teenager, because that's what young males do. Don't tell me y'all never had a little black VHS tape with no marks on it. Don't tell me. Y'all lying. Back in the old days before the internet. Oh, God. Guys, here on the Dozer Den, we talk about stuff and things. Stuff and things. Enunciation is important here. Just saying. The internet sucks right now. Keep getting booted out. Well, damn, Urs. You know what? I'm glad that you are fighting against the struggles of the internet to hang out here. Much appreciated. Harry Till, yes. Have a question. What will the USA do with the MS-13 gang members that are already and were born here in America? I mean, they're American citizens, so they are entitled to more. There's more process involved with the American citizens, of course. They're going to be. They're designated a terrorist group, so then you would be able to use different, so probably some different standards with the legal system when it comes to a terrorist organizations. So they would be considered domestic violent extremists, I guess. DVEs, maybe. That's a good question, though. That's a damn good question. It's not like we're going to deport American citizens, though, Trish. I will say that. I know. Trump joked kind of about that, or at some point possibly, but I don't think that's actually going to happen. But well, there you go. Rip DVDs. Rip them down. I was working at Target when a thief tried taking one of those combos through the garden center. Ha! Followed him back to the back of the truck and pick up the combo as it peeled away. They got nothing. And they put all, you know what? They got steps and they got a good physical amount. They got a good physical workout by carrying that out. Or they probably pushed it out in a cart, didn't they? I don't know why I imagine somebody walking out with that. Those things are chunky. That's a lot of dedication, though. They got away with nothing. Well, damn it, Entropy Nomad. Well done, sir. Well done. You fought off the thief. That's admirable. I'll take it. I'll take it, man. Oh, man, guys. Last topic of the night. We're going to go ahead and talk about the COVID-19 lab leak confirmation that the White House put out a little while back. I know it's been like a week or so, but I've had things going on. So, let's see. The leader was caught with several of his members a few years back here in your state. He and his wife were out on bond 2 days later. Well, now there's some different standards in how they're addressing those people, Trish. So hopefully, that's a couple years ago under an administration that literally wants this country to fail. The left, the Democrats, and the establishment Republicans as well, guys. We've got to make sure we keep all of this in focus. It's not just the left and it's not just the Democrats. The establishment Republicans, the Bushites, they absolutely want this country to fail. That is one of their goals. I think it boils down to self-flagellation for the sins of our fathers. They don't believe this country deserves to succeed and be the best that there is. They feel that we must pay a penance. And I say, fuck that. We got where we are. We became one of the strongest, I would still say the strongest nation in this world, and I don't really give a fuck how we did it. Now, since we're at a point where we don't have to scrape and claw, that's where we can be a little bit more civil, for sure. But as far as what it took to get us here, good. Glad we did it. Sucks to suck, everybody that we fucked over. That's how it works in the world. That's just how things work. That's how human beings interact with each other. What's up, C-dubs? Good to see ya. Ninja sauces. My. What's up, Sanglant86? I gave you a shout out earlier, bud. Thanks for joining this episode of the Dozer Den. By the way, if you haven't checked out the dozerden.locals.com, that's a thing worth following, in my opinion. I think we got like 48 or so followers over there, and you can check out the Discord. That's a happening place. A lot of news links getting posted in there. I've just been a little bit occupied the past few days, but I think we're back on it. I think, anyways. I think I got... There we go. Good deal. All right. Speaking of spicy. Yeah. Things got spicy in my life, but it's cooling down probably. Let's go ahead and start diving into the topics, guys. Let's get into it. The first one I'm going to go ahead and talk about, not on the agenda, but we've got to talk about it. We got to read this article here about the update on a story that we covered on Monday. From that Judge Keno and his wife. When we were talking about it, I did muse about as to why on earth this individual was still walking freely, as he was literally facilitating crime. Kind of was like, what the hell? But hey, ask and ye shall receive. Apparently, Mike Davis is saying that arrests are coming soon with all the, the people that we are wanting, held accountable. Mike Davis has said that arrests are coming. The indictments are coming. The indictments are coming. The indictments are coming. Well, I sure as fuck hope so, Mike Davis, because at a certain point, my patience and my faith in y'all actually doing something will wear out. It's not there yet. I'm not black pilled, and I will resist the urge to take the black pill as hard as I possibly can. Um, but in a couple to a few months, I might be getting kind of perturbed. I'm a little bit annoyed right now, but I understand that things do not go as quickly as one would like all the time. So yeah, but judges be like, "I am the law." It's what they think. They think that they literally do. They think that the Constitution does not apply to them. Literally, judges will say this. The Second Amendment doesn't matter here. The fuck? The fuck did you just say? Oh, we're not talking about the Constitution. I thought this whole thing was based on that founding document. But no, you're Mr. Judge or Mrs. Judge, and you know it all. You're the end all be all. You think you do have a fucking God complex. Most of these judges do. Um, and they need to be They need to be reminded that they are human beings, fellow citizens that are part of the process. And they do have to adhere to the Constitution. It's kind of a little bit of an important thing. But oftentimes, they think they can just skirt the Constitution. And I didn't get this link. I'll put this in after the show, the link to this article. It's a New York Post article, guys. But Democrat Judge Joel Cano banned by New Mexico Supreme Court after alleged Tren de Aragua gang member arrested in his home. Well, shit, is this going to be the article that I wanted? Because let me see. Shit. Banned. Okay, that doesn't mention that he got arrested. Oh, damn it. That's not the right article. We do have him getting put in cuffs, though. So let's check that out from Tony Lane. And I will find the article here in just a second. There he is. And his wife. He is. Get him, you fucker. Right? Sorry. Are you on the app or the browser? First, hang your head in shame, you jack off. Which is what he was doing in the cuck chair when his wife was getting plowed by that illegal alien. That's from a glance, from my perspective, that's kind of what it looks like. It looks like he was probably getting cucked. It sounds like he looked really happy in the pictures, though. So maybe he just really enjoyed being cucked. I'm not judging on that necessarily. I really am not. Check out the app, Urs8243. Just give it a try. Check out the app. I will say this, guys. If you do send Rumble rants, the creators get more of that when you do it through browser. And subs are cheaper through browser than through the app because they have to factor in Apple or the Google Store or whatever. So yeah, what's up, Nightwolf? Howdy. Good to see you guys. Thanks so much for joining this episode of the Dozer Den. Don't forget to smash that like button if you have not done so already. Let me find an article that I actually wanted to. God, you would have thought they would have updated that article from the New York Post. Let me check it out. Judge Cano. We'll do a quick search here. We're doing it on the fly. Fuck it, we'll do it live, guys. Oh wait, real quick. Let's bring up his goofy his poses with the gang members. He's so happy to have those Latin fellows probably slamming his wife. Yeah. It's very. Oh, there you go, guys. Look what you get. Look at what you get when you are either gifted a sub or you subscribe to Bulldozer74. You get amazing emotes such as that peach, and sometimes you gotta slap at that peach, guys. Damn right you do. That's right. All right, let me find an article real quick here. Judge Cano. Unless we've had false reporting and I am incorrect here. Let's see. That is... Son of a bitch. Maybe I'm incorrect here. Guys, I may have been fake news. I can't believe it. Entropy Nomad with a $1 Rumble rant. Oh my goodness. I can't rant on my computer from the pooper. Well, you know what? Where there's a will, there's a way. And there are like little table trays that you can get. I've seen them on the infomercials, man. I have seen them on the infomercials. But thank you so much for turning the chat blue. Much appreciated. You made the kids happy. Good job, Entropy Nomad. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated for the support. Rumble is a data hog. I would agree. I swear to God, if I'm incorrect in my reporting here, I've been lied to. I've been lied to by the internet, goddammit. He was arrested, though. Why isn't there an article? He's in cuffs. Where's the fucking article? It's from Tony Lane. Source Mandela Mandy. So there's not a damn... Why is this not coming up? This is nuts. I mean, unless that's the wrong guy, maybe they got a wrong video, but that looks like him. This is crazy, guys. Coco to Minky, good to see you. Glad you have chosen to join this episode of the Dozer Den. Let me look really quick. Let me do a little bit more searching here. You blame CERN. Yes, I blame CERN as well. CERN is one of the reasons that I think that this, the world is so, all right, let's do news from the right. You can do on Brave, you can do news from the left or news from the right. Hey, look at that. Son of a bitch. When I picked news from the right, first fucking thing, a Fox News article. My God. Let's check it out. God, why is that? Why is that? Good Lord. Hey, I have a 6-minute clip. Might want to watch some. Do you want to watch some news with me? I don't know. Nah, we'll read. Then maybe we'll watch it. We'll see. I will put this article link in the description after the show if I don't forget. Guys, every now and then I squirrel hard. But we're going to read through it. It's not in the title because I had already made the show title and I've not edited it yet. So I will edit in after the show. But let's take a look at this article from Fox News. Ex-New Mexico judge and wife arrested for allegedly harboring illegal Trinidad Aragua member. Former Doña Ana County Magistrate Judge Joel Cano and his wife Nancy Cano. I've got to think that's supposed to be Cano, but I'm not seeing the little markup above it. Accent mark? There we go. That's the word. Were taken into custody Thursday. This was by Jasmine Bear from Fox News, published April 24th, 2025 at 8:35 p.m. Eastern Time. I don't know what Eastern Time is. Central Time is the only time that counts, guys. Just saying. By the way, I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. If you haven't followed the channel yet, go ahead and give me a follow. Smash that follow button and the like button. Costs nothing. Absolutely, it's absolutely free to follow and like the show and the channel. Just saying. So they were taken into custody Thursday after federal agents raided their Las Cruces home. The two faced charges of evidence tampering and amid allegations they harbored Christian Ortega Lopez, an alleged illegal alien who is also believed to be a member of Venezuela's notorious Trinidad Aragua gang. The Trinidad Aragua does sound pretty gay. I don't know what it translates to, but yeah. TDA. Under President Trump, we have arrested over 150,000 aliens, including more than 600 members of the vicious Trinidad Aragua gang, said Department of Homeland Security DHS Secretary Kristi Noem. If you are here illegally and break the law, we will hunt you down, arrest you, and lock you up. That's a promise. The arrest follows a February incident where Ortega Lopez was apprehended at the Cano residence. Court documents reveal that he was initially hired by Nancy Cano for home repairs. Really? Really, Nancy? You hired the illegal alien gang member for home repairs? Was he fixing the plumbing? Huh? Was he making sure your pipes were cleaned out? Was he stuffing the pipes? It just, it sounds like a cheap porn. I mean, it just, Nancy. Nancy. Come on. Dirty girl, Nancy. The feet is on the bottom. Oh no. All right. Pulling it back up. What a hoe. Let's see. Later, for home repairs, and later offered accommodation in the couple's guest house. Mm-hmm. He was helping her hubby with some pipe playing. Oh, yeah, I think he might have been in the chair. In the cut chair. Investigators uncovered evidence linking Ortega Lopez to the Trinidad Aragua gang, including gang-related clothing, tattoos, voicemails, and text messages. Well, that's pretty damning. According to court documents, he unlawfully entered the U.S. on December 15th, 2023, by crossing the border near Eagle Pass, Texas, without inspection or authorization. He was released on December 18th, 2023, pending removal proceedings due to overcrowding. At the Border Patrol facility, we did talk about that the other day, he was issued a notice to appear, initiating formal removal proceedings under the Immigration and Nationality Act. Further investigation led to the seizure of 4 firearms. That's right, because we talked about how I was kind of frustrated that the guns were the way they were able to get after this guy. Ugh. Interesting. Wrong, Nancy. Let's see. Further investigation led to the seizure of 4 firearms from the residence of April Cano, the couple's daughter. She was getting plowed too. You know, that's what they want, the illegal aliens. They want them there for the farming, and they were doing some plowing, I suppose. Ortega Lopez was found in their social media posts posing with weapons, some of which he claimed were owned by April. He is currently facing federal charges for being illegal alien in possession of a firearm, a violation of 18 USC squiggly S's 922G5. If convicted, he faces up to 15 years in prison. How? Or deport the motherfucker. Why? Ew. Trinidad Aragua translates to trans overloved children, but I don't speak Spanish. Nice. Yeah. Yeah, it's called the steel toe chair. Oh, heyo. Ricada Law coming back to Rumble and YouTube, I guess. But I haven't, I don't watch on YouTube because fuck YouTube. That's right. I'm streaming to YouTube, but it can go eat a bag of dicks. Yeah, Ricada's back. The steel toe chair. Oh, Aaron. Poor Aaron. He's not a nice guy. But, Dania Ana County has been a hotbed of illegal immigration and drug trafficking, human smuggling for many, many years. Former ICE field officer, Director John Fabricatore? Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that is Italian and not Spanish because I want it to be. And I wanted to say it like that. So, yeah. He's doing day streams right now because he's doing trial coverage, but he will be back. He did a few night streams, yeah, I'm sure he'll be back for some evening streams. Cutting into my stream time, you son of a bitch! Damn it, Nose. Glad the Nose Pope is back. Nobody owns the slots. Nobody owns the times. Is that really? I mean, he's getting some pretty damn good views. Got like 34,000 or something the other day on the stream. That's pretty solid. Let's see. So Donia, hotbed of illegal trafficking, illegal immigration and drug trafficking, human smuggling for many, many years. So he said to WPMI, to see that a judge would allow this to happen is very concerning. It's concerning. What else has the judge been doing? Oh, look at them. Look at them around the table. Some nice chairs. Look sturdy. Judge Cano resigned from his judicial position in March, and on Tuesday, the New Mexico Supreme Court issued a ruling permanently barring him from holding any judicial office in the state. Well, that's damn good. I like that. Maybe there's some hope for the damn system yet. Maybe. We'll see. Oh, you missed. I was not, I've not gotten to watch the day streams. I've had, Sanglant, I've had too much going on over the past couple days that I've forgotten to eat. And that's not typical for someone like me to forget to eat. But yeah. The people of New Mexico are tired of a system where the powerful don't play by their own rules. Amy Barella, chairwoman of the Republican Party of New Mexico, said to the La Cruces Sun News, "We demand real accountability for the Judge Cano's connection to a gang-affiliated criminal and full transparency on how judiciary is being held to the same laws as the rest of us. Enough is enough." Homeland Security investigations continues. To lead the case, K-Fox reported. Fox News. Pilar Arias contributed to this report. Well, there you go. There's an update. We have an update. Justice is coming for those at the top, hopefully. It's a good sign. I'll take that as a white pill, just a little bit of a white pill. I'll take it. Yep. What's up, Duck Fat? Good to see you guys. If you have not smashed the like button yet, go ahead and do what you need to do to it. In the old days of Rumble, it used to be a plus sign. We affectionately referred to it as the plussy. That's Plussy. You could smash the plussy, pound the plussy, wreck that plussy. Sometimes you gotta grab them by the plussy. They let you do it. It's consensual. Damn right, Bubble Trump. Excuse me. Oh, man. But yeah, there's a brief update on that one. Had to get that out of the way. I figured since we talked about it on Monday, had to make that. Had to slide it in. Slide it in there at the top, guys. Now, let me see what that like button's looking like. Not too bad. We're at 19, including myself, because why not smash your own like button, guys? It's a good idea. Sometimes you got to hit your own button. You know, sometimes there's not people around to hit the button for you, and you got to hit that button yourself, you know, and it just sets things off when sometimes, you know your way around that button. I get it. Yep. Let me check on BitChute real quick because there is a live chat on BitChute. Make sure we're not missing there. Look at that. Nobody watching on BitChute. My goodness. We actually do every now and then when I check on that. We do catch somebody every now and then there. So that's kind of cool. What's up, Sertorius01? Good to see you. Cheech Marine was the salesman in front of the Pussy Palace. The Pussy Palace! I love that show. Or that movie. That movie's great. It's horrible, but great at the same time. I watched that when I was way too young. And also, I definitely really there was the scene with the, I'm not gonna lie, I wish I was the snake at one point. When I was a young teen. I think I was like 13 when I first saw that. What the hell was her name? I should know this woman's name. It's very Hispanic, because she is. But that little scene where she's dancing with the snake, it's a lucky snake. That's all I'm saying. Oh, if we don't have it, you don't want it. Oh, that's right. It's BitChute, not BitChute. BIT pause CHUTE. BitChute. Guys, if you haven't followed me on BitChute, that is another platform that is fairly free speech. I don't really know if there's much censorship on BitChute. I probably should look into that. But I am over there. I have 10 followers, I think, right? 10 subscribers, yeah. Because I call them subscribers. Here on Rumble, it's followers. And on YouTube, it's subscribers. And probably other places, it's subscribers. But Salma Hayek, yep. Salma Hayek. She's a pretty one. She is a pretty one. The horse scene with Cheech Marine from the Corsican Brothers is even funnier. I don't know if I've seen that one. It's not ringing a bell. Nope. Oh. Damn right. Trish mentioning it's biltong. It's like jerky. It's not technically jerky from what I understand. But check out, if you want, guys, sincerely, my stomach is growling right now. This is perfect timing. My stomach's growling. And you know what this means? This means that I'm going to have a chance to have some of Anton's meat. Biltong is delicious, guys. It's what beef jerky wishes it could be. www.biltongusa.com. Use promo code DOZER for 10% off. My God, you can get 10% off of your order of a delightfully healthy snack. Guys, this is chock full of protein, creatine, vitamin B. Let me make sure I'm not lying. Yes, B vitamins, creatine, magnesium, potassium, zinc. No gluten, no MSG, soy-free, and no added sugar. Gosh, it is just so chock full of all the good things, guys. This stuff, sincerely, if you haven't got any, check it out. Anton is a South African immigrant, and he decided to bring his meat to America. And he makes, I've lost my hat. Oh no. This stuff right here, check it out. It's a good little chunk right there. And it is delightful. I was glad to see that in the last shipment I got some more Wagyu. I am partial to the Wagyu. The Angus is delightful as well, but that Wagyu is just a little bit more. I need to try the peri peri. Oh, Harry Toe, you have to be honest, but sucking a straw from a Stanley Cup looks gay. Well, I'm comfortable with my sexuality, Harry Toe, too. Very comfortable with my sexuality. I got that Stanley Cup from my mother-in-law for Christmas, I'll have you know. At least it's not like a gay color. It's gray. It's just one letter off. Just one letter. Sartorius, is it a scene that would get me canceled if I played it? Only 5 bags of the Reaper Pepper Biltong is left. Anton said he's not making any more. Oh, damn. I'm going to try the Peri Peri at some point. I've heard it's got a little bit of a zing to it. But Stanley Cups do make great flasks. I've heard this. Yes, indeed. That would be interesting. Entropy, that would be interesting, yeah. The foot thing I never quite understood, but hey, you do you. I mean, I'm not saying I wouldn't if I was single. But that was an interesting scene for sure. Definitely interesting. It's fine, YouTube comment. Let me check it out real quick. Since we're mentioning it, might as well. Before we get into the second news story, talking about Turza being a candid twat waffle. Guys, sign language for twat waffle. Twat waffle. Twat waffle. It's one of my favorite words. I'm glad I know it in sign language. For if I ever lose the ability to speak, I will know how to insult somebody with one of my favorite insults. Checking it out. All right. Okay, we'll play it. It's YouTube, so hey, why not? Brief interlude between news stories.
I could do this all day. As a matter of fact, that's what I used to do for a living.
It's a fancy hat.
I worked for a guy. I owned a big horse ranch in Mexico.
Really?
Oh, yeah. We had 10,000 horses.
10,000?
Oh, yeah,
A lot
sure.
of horses.
What kind of horses?
They were brown, mostly brown.
Brown horses.
Yeah.
Did you do all the breeding yourself?
No. We had a horse for that.
Yeah.
I remember one time my cousin, though.
Oh, no.
Oh, never mind.
You know, I can't imagine being with anyone but someone that was into horses.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you just gotta know how to treat horses, you know? I mean, a lot of them like to be treated, just like really gentle.
Fake Buger has entered the chat. Oh, no. Oh, no. No! Oh. That's horrible. That's horrible. Why? Why? Oh, it's because he lost the brush. That's terrible.
I think he
Why
really
would you
likes
tell me to play that? Well, we got the brush back.
Whew. Nice horsey. Yeah. I love horses. There.
Disagree. You're in the corner right now. In the corner. Never again. Ugh. If you've grown up on a farm, you know what that every now and then you have to like do stuff like that though. But you got this really, really long glove that goes all the way up to your shoulder. Uh, I've never actually done it, but like after a cow gives birth, you gotta, yeah. Cenk Uger entered the chat for that. Disappointed in you all. So disappointed. But no, after like a cow gives birth, sometimes you have to get the afterbirth out, and that's just one of the things that you got to do. Either you get a vet to do it, or if you got to. A lot of times, farmers have to do a lot of their own vet stuff, that simple stuff like that, which it is a relatively simple procedure. You got to go in there with a damn glove, and you got to get the extra stuff out. It's kind of what it is. That's country life right there. I could have gone my whole life without seeing that scene, though. Just saying. Just saying, Sertorius01. I hate you now. No. Well, speak. No, I don't have a play on words for that. Is that what Valshvaps do? Probably. God, why are we bringing forth these lefties? Invoking the names of the lefties like Chunky Yogurt. No. Yeah, they do that. They do. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, it's not fun, but it's part of farm life. You got to do that stuff. I helped tie off the balls once to make young bulls steers. I remember doing that. I think I clipped them once. I might have made some steers once. Yeah. Nah. Ugh. But all right, guys. On to the next topic. Speaking of corruption, negative influences in the world. Like that video. This Turza guy, James O'Keefe Media Group, formerly Project Veritas fame. And Project Veritas has just fell off like 100%. I haven't seen a thing from them recently. And O'Keefe Media Group, it's doing okay. It's struggling, I think, probably for recognition, but it's getting there. The OMG works. I think it does. But James O'Keefe got a candid camera undercover sting on this fella, Nicolas Turza. He's a branch chief with the Department of Defense underneath Hegseth. Balls or no balls farm edition. That's right. Used to come off and have mountain oysters for supper. A lot of people do that. I never ate the mountain Rocky Mountain oysters. Never did that. But I know people who did. I've had kidney. I've had liver. I've had gizzards. I've helped pack sausage with the intestine and all that. Yeah, I've done just about everything. I will say this: kidney with some salt and Mountain Dew. That was pretty good. It's a little dry, but it worked. But let's get into the next bit here. Let me find my bookmarks. There we go. Let's get into it. Why is everything moved around? Okay, here it is. From James O'Keefe, we have a sting, guys. A sting. Nice. Sting from O'Keefe Media Group about some mean opinions on Pete Hegseth and the Department of Defense. And then after we watch this, we're going to go ahead and add some context, give you a little bit of a background on this individual based on a thread where he's connected to globalist garbage, honestly. Harry Toe to what have you just done? Did you just turn the chat yellow with a $5 Rumble rant? Oh my goodness. It's a link. Should we play it, guys? Should we play the link, Harry Toe 2? What have you done? I'm going to check it out. If I think it's something worth playing, I'll play it. But thank you so much for the donation, my God. Round of applause for Harry Toe 2 on a Thursday, guys. On a Thursday, coming in hot. At $6 so far tonight. That'll give me about 3 or so after, if it's through the If it's through the Rumble app, it takes about half after the app stores do their thing. Speaking of horses, this is your state. There, what is going on? What is the chat doing? My God. Well, I'll have to pull it up over here. Speaking of horses, this is your state. Okay. What you got here? All for you guys contributing to the show because I do this for you, the people, here in the Dozer Den. All right, well, check it out. Kenneth Pinion apparently worked at Boeing. Perversity of Humanity. Not sure where it's going, but let's check it out. You sent a $5 Rumble rant in, so I'm going to entertain it. But if I think it's too grody, I will veto it. Let's check it out, though. Sharing with the class, Harry Toad Who.
Kenneth Pinion was born in the United States on June 22, 1960. An engineer by profession, he notably worked at Boeing and lived in Gig Harbor, Washington. Kenneth died on July 2, 2005, following sexual intercourse with a stallion on a farm in King County, Washington, near the town of Enumclaw. His story, reported by the Seattle Times, was one of the newspaper's most widely read stories of 2005. In the United States, this case is known as the Enumclaw horse sex case and led to the creation of a law against zoophilia and zoophilic videos. Kenneth Pinion had filmed previous sex he had with horses and posted it online as Mr. Hands. During a zoophilic sodomy, in July 2005, filmed by a friend, he has a perforated colon and dies as a result of his injuries.
Every day we stray further from God. Why? Why would you just... For the love of God. No. There's so much no with this. There. Shocked Pikachu face. That's all. That I literally did shocked Pikachu face. I didn't realize it. I did. Just a second ago, I did shocked Pikachu face. I've seen some shit. Tim Waltz. You guys are horsing around in the chat, okay? You guys are going to have to tighten it up, all right? We're going to gallop our way to the next news story now. Disgusting. Horrible. The town was mispronounced. That city is not far from... Oh my gosh, you guys are in the same area. Hey, it was $5. $5 is a shit. $5 is $5, y'all. Seriously, though, thanks for the donation. I'm glad that's not kicking you out again there, Urs8243. Oh, yeah. Nay. All right, let's get into this scoop from O'Keefe Media Group. Not gonna lie, you guys are helping me. You guys are cheering me up a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. Appreciate y'all. Draining the deep state. DOD Branch Chief calls President Trump illegitimate. Vows to resist him. Gay. Everything he does. Claims Pete Hegseth is insanely young. Well, that's ageism, you fucker. And unfit to lead. Nobody I know should be the Secretary of Defense. Well, that's like... These people, when they're talking to girls, my God, they get so stupid. I don't understand it. Bill does anything for money. I mean, not quite. I do have some standards. Just saying. Just very, very, very low. All right, let's play it, guys. Let's check it out.
Try to overthrow an election is just like truly setting us down a path.
There are people that literally believe that Trump did try to overthrow an election. Literally. They're so brainwashed. I just can't.
He's illegitimate. He's terribly immoral, breaking every norm. We're going to resist him. Everything he does.
James O'Keefe here in Arlington, Virginia, in front of the Pentagon. The branch chief inside the Pentagon saying on hidden camera he's going to resist against Trump and Hegseth. Now, since President Trump was elected and assigned Pete Hegseth as Secretary of Defense, the DOD has faced a number of leaks in the past few months from employees inside the Pentagon.
There's some type of deep state forces that want to make sure you don't stay there. They've come after me from day one, just like...
Literally, they have, though. They've literally come after him from day one. The propaganda worked for him. And somebody said the other day there's propaganda on both sides. And I don't see myself as on the right. I see myself as on the side of what's true. The truth. How is the truth propaganda? I don't understand how someone can say that the truth is propaganda. Because I don't... There is propaganda on the right, I guess. But, like, I don't buy into it. I see it when I see it. It is what it is. And I'm just like, that's gay. What's up, Gene Bondeno? Good to see you. Thanks for joining this episode of the Dozer Den. Don't forget to smash that like button, you guys. Let's check on it. See what you guys have done to it. Have you thoroughly destroyed that like button? We're at 22. It's not bad. We could do better. We could do better. On the side of the truth. That's right, Harry Totu. Yep, C-dubs, you are absolutely right. I got in a bit of a discussion with, a little bit of a back and forth with retards on X, but I try not to do that very often because it was on Hassan Piker's fucking post. Talking about the Tesla seeing decreases in the stocks and stuff like that. I'm like, it's like, well, when we organize, when we boycott, it works. I'm like, y'all burn shit down. That's not just a boycott. That's terrorism. And the fact that you do that shit, you absolutely deserve to have a very, very harsh consequence. Very harsh. Because they were told it was propaganda with propaganda. Interesting perspective. I mean, yeah, it makes sense.
They've come after President Trump. I mean, I've gotten a fraction of what President Trump got in that first term.
The Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, has been going on media interviews expressing that there are people within the Pentagon who want to resist the president and hurt his policies.
I know exactly why I'm here, to rip out the insidious ideologies and not compromise and not back down, to reestablish standards and accountability.
Nicolas Turza, a branch chief within the DOD, expressed dissatisfaction with his new boss, Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth, claiming he is too young for the job.
So I'm assuming that your boss isn't Pete Hegseth.
Ultimately, he is my boss.
Okay.
But this is insane. I actually know Pete Hegseth.
You do? Like personally?
But this is so crazy. Like, that's not a good reflection on me. That's a bad reflection on Trump. Like, nobody I know should be the Secretary of Defense.
Oh, no.
Like, he's insane.
That level of self-deprecation did not play well. Like, if you were actually spitting game and you did self-deprecation like that, you just look like a fucking retard, in my opinion. Like, there's a right way to self-deprecate, and that wasn't it.
Young to be the part, like, and he wasn't that high up in the military. He used to be in the DC National Guard.
Oh, did you guys work together? Or?
Yeah, I mean, in our side hustle in the National Guard.
God bless the hot.
And I met him in my unit. He was just in my unit. And I don't know, I can go on about who that's at.
Now, Nicolas Turza claims that he knows Hegseth from the DC National Guard, but we spoke to a senior official at the Pentagon who said that's not true, that Hegseth has not ever heard of this man or seen him.
But what do you think the intent is? Is it like they want to hurt America?
I think they don't care who they hurt. To enact a change that they see making America a populist conservative framework, more traditional, even if that means being more sexist or racist or chauvinist.
Turza also saying on hidden camera he did.
Good luck to you, C-dubs. Hope it works out, bud. Hope you've been still getting some good luck with the door dashing.
Not know he was being recorded, that Trump is an illegitimate president, an immoral dictator, and they plan to resist everything Trump does.
The same guy who tried to overthrow an election is just like truly setting us down a path of dictatorship. He's illegitimate. He's terribly immoral, breaking every norm. We're gonna resist him. Everything he does.
What if Just one of the gayest things that one could say. We're gonna resist. Oh, is he just do you think he's just trying to get in her pants? Thinks that she's a lefty? Is that why they say this dumb shit? I One might think that's the case, but like I said, we have a thread to go through here in a little bit. And oh my goodness gracious, turning the chat green, guys, lime green. Lord of the Ree with a $2 Rumble rant. Nicolas Turza looks like Robin Williams and Charlie Kirk had a baby. I see it. I do kind of see it. Thank you so much for that $2 Rumble rant. My goodness, thank you so much for that.
Giggity!
Should have played that when we had the horse stuff. No, we shouldn't have. I'm just horsing around, guys. Just horsing around. Oh man.
Very patriotic person, and I've never been that patriotic.
Now, the reason this is concerning, the Department of
He's
Defense is
never been that
often
patriotic.
Really setting us down a path of dictatorship. He's illegitimate. He's purely immoral, breaking every norm.
The eyes are really close together.
I'm a very patriotic person, and I've never been that patriotic.
Well, maybe because you're a traitor to the country and you should be fucking thrown in the goddamn in a cell because you're a fucking traitor to the goddamn country, you asshole.
Now, the reason this is concerning, the Department of Defense is often directly responsible for the president's safety in the event of travel, events, campaign rallies, and everything else.
What's your least favorite thing about Trump?
Oh, that he utterly lacks any moral principle. The worst thing about him is his utter lack of moral principle. The second worst thing about him is how stupid he could be.
Should the president's safety be entrusted with people who believe that he is illegitimate and immoral? And here we have a field trip. Let's take a look. People are coming in. Hello, everyone. How you doing? This is James O'Keefe reporting live in front of the Pentagon at the Memorial, Air Force Memorial here in Arlington, Virginia. Stay tuned.
That's I wonder if it was James with the glasses on taking that side view video. But this is just another example, though. Another example of how fucking insane it is that we have so many people that are entrenched in government. They're entrenched in these establishment structures that will absolutely do everything they can to stop the will of the American people. You traitorous fucking scum. You need to be tried as goddamn, I don't know, the Espionage Act, traitorous, treason. This is fucking treason. And you know what? We need to actually start seeing some of these motherfuckers being charged with treason for this shit. When you say you're going to do everything to resist this president, you are doing everything to resist the will of the American people. Like 80, well, not 80, like 78, 79 million. I got a shirt somewhere with the damn numbers on it. I think it was 75 the last I checked. Something like that. A lot of fucking people voted for this man, and they want this shit to fucking happen. And most of the people in this country actually want what's happening to continue to happen. And the fact that you continue to resist, you fucking bitch-made fucking faggots. I cannot fucking stand you, and I wish to God our system would actually do what it should fucking do. Put you guys through the fucking ringer, and after due process, put your fucking head on a goddamn spike for doing everything you can to make sure this country fucking fails. You beta bitch fuckheads. God fucking damn it. I am so goddamn tired of these motherfuckers not seeing any consequences. We have to start seeing some accountability in this fucking country. If we don't start seeing accountability for this shit, then normal people are going to lose faith in the system. I am currently very fucking close to having no faith in this goddamn system. I'm not black-pilled and I'm not gonna be black-pilled, but I'm getting closer every fucking day. And I'd like to see some people be held accountable. I would like to see treasonous motherfuckers being charged with treason and being issued the consequence for treason. Make it public. Put it on fucking pay-per-view. After due process, if you've done something that warrants that consequence, I'm all fucking for it. I'm so fucking tired of this shit. And people just fucking let it go and let it go and let it go and let it go. At some point, the lion has to fucking chomp the goddamn head off that fucking annoying little gopher that's been nibbling on its fucking testicles. Fuck these people so goddamn hard. It's got to change. It's got to change. I got a little bit grumpy there. Lampposts exist. Lampposts exist for a fucking reason. And after due process, they should absolutely suffer the consequences. We need this. We need to start seeing people be held accountable. Harry Toe 2 with another $5 Rumble Rant. BLM is done. What is the next movement coming this summer? Probably whenever the Metcalf murderer gets found guilty. They'll riot for that one. They'll riot for that because they pick the best. They always pick the best, don't they? Another $5 Rumble Rant. Turn in the chat. Hello once more. Harry Toe 2, thank you so much for that support, man. Much appreciated, buddy. Yeah, I think that'll be the next one. You liked that, Bondano. That might be a clippable rant. I don't fucking know. Maybe I'll put that rant on YouTube. Maybe that's what I'll do. I'll take a little clip. Let's timestamp it. Where are we at? An hour and... Probably an hour and 18. Let me write it down. 118 rant. That might be a short that I put on YouTube. Because the live streams don't get views on the YouTubes. We get views elsewhere. On Rumble and X for sure. But not on the YouTubes. When you do shorts, those get noticed. So, good Lord. Politicians haven't been tarred and feathered for far too long. If you say tar and feather somebody on X, you will get suspended. Or you will get, that'll be like, because the actual tarring and feathering, that's hot tar. And I didn't necessarily know that. Should have inferred that from tarring, but yeah, it's hot tar, and that'll melt your skin off. When you peel it off, when it does come off, you're taking some layers of skin with it. Adonis Paul showed a hanging that was technically a strangulation. Yeah, Adonis gets a very, he shows something. The due process is deciding what kind of rope to use. Oh my. Oh my. Yeah. Play the excellent one who is moving to Texas to run against Dan Crenshaw. Oh my. You know what? Might as well. I will say though, I kind of think she might be grifting pretty hard. She was in Missouri, but I guess she's moving to... I like what she says, but we'll check it out here. What you got, Sertorius? And then we'll get into that thread, guys, from Nicolas Turza that gives you a bit more understanding of why he would be saying the shit he's saying, and he actually believes it. He's not just saying it to spit game and try to get who he assumes, get in the pants of a woman who he assumes is a lefty. He actually is for this global homo elite. He is. Let's check this out, though. We got a rant from Valentina Gomez. She's got the guns. She's got the glam. She says faggot. Here's a clip. Let me check. It's only got one like. 165 views from 8 months ago. Let me check it real quick. We're talking about the trans at the Olympics. That's what she was talking about. Play the next clip. She's running against Dan Crenshaw. She's probably not. Crenshaw's got too much establishment backing. I don't know how you get people like that out. He's a piece of garbage, and I don't understand how the people of Texas are voting for him. If they are voting for him, that's the thing. If they're actually voting for him, kind of think they might not be. But you know.
Faggots should get their own faggot category because before, if a man hit a woman, it used to land him in jail. Now, it gets you a gold medal at the Olympics. These are the worst Olympics in history. They have made a mockery out of Christianity and women. And let me remind you, there's no such thing as a chick with a dick. Keep women's sports females.
Have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the punk motherfuckers that
Yeah, that was nice. She was cool for a while there. And I think honestly though, I think she is grifting a little bit. She was out with the Predator, the I Fight for Kids guy. She actually did go around with him a little bit. I think she was on one of the stings. She acted as one of the decoys. Yeah, she was acting as a decoy, as was playing like a 13-year-old or something like that. And they got that son of a gun. Yeah, that was rough. She's pretty cool. I hope she's not grifting. But I kind of get the vibe with how, like, it reminds me of how some other creators, when they spit out the word faggot, they do it just to get the attention. And instead of just, like, that's part of their common vernacular, it seems like they're just doing it to get the clicks. When I call somebody a faggot, it's because I truly dislike them, and I think they're a jerk. And they're being a faggot. That doesn't mean gay. I've told you this before, guys. When I say faggot, it's not because I'm calling you a homosexual. It's because you're being a fag. Don't be a fag. How many more times could I say fag and make sure that my YouTube channel never grows? Yeah. Oh, man. You know what, though? I'm not focused on YouTube. I'm focused on where the water is warm, here on Rumble. And if you have not smashed the like button yet, go ahead and do it to it. We're at 24. If you haven't followed this channel yet, go ahead and follow. Why not? It's a good idea. Yep. Abso-fucking-lutely. I think she does it just to grift. Is what it is, though. It's a thing. Hey, you found a way to monetize the use of such a lovely word. Go forth and spread use of the word faggot as much as you like. Indeed. Man. I did not eat dinner, guys. I was out working on the yard after forgetting to eat earlier. And you know what? It means we've got to get a little bit more biltong here. Why not? Yeah, I don't care that she says it. I just think she says it just to get the clicks. That's just my opinion. Check it out, guys. Biltongusa.com. Dozer for 10% off. I'm enjoying that. Oh, God. No, Gene Montano. No! To each their own, I suppose. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man. All right. My God, you know what I love? I love how red this chat is tonight. My God. So much of that beautiful Rumble rash. When you get that gifted sub, your name is lit up in the most beautiful shade of MAGA red. It's wonderful. There should make a bull testicle biltong and call it Baltong. That's actually fucking brilliant. Lord of the Ree, that's absolutely fucking brilliant. Well done. Well done, sir. Yep. I like it. Let's get into this thread, though, guys. We have a thread exposing a little bit more, giving you more depth. You could call it bull. You know what, Lord of the Ree? I liked Baltong. Bulltong. Nope. Make it Baltong. If it's going to be bull testicles, you got to call it Baltong. All right? That is I don't make the rules. I didn't make these rules. That's just from God. That's what God intended. And who are we to speak out against God? Let me find this. Find this back and forth here. Oh, X, why do you do this to me? You mess around with my bookmarks, and I don't like it. Oh, here's a real quick. Here's something from excuse me. The LinkedIn, which is LinkedIn just the professional, like, is it like Blue Sky before Blue Sky became a thing? Because I don't go on LinkedIn, and I probably never will. The few times I've been on there, it seemed to be just loaded with liberal faggots, and I didn't really like it, so I didn't mess around with it. And I've never experienced any benefit from LinkedIn. Not one goddamn time. Nope. Nicolas Turza. It's before OMG, after OMG. This page doesn't exist. And, you know, it does beg the question, why do these guys we catch on tape always nuke their LinkedIn? What were they hiding? What was on that LinkedIn? We may never know. But you know what? The internet is forever. So somebody might have actually, yeah, yes, Lord of the Ree, X is fake and gay. I agree. There's a bunch of bullshit going on X, guys. Apparently, it's like, you either have to pay to make your channel get seen, make your stuff get seen, or you have to find ways apparently to subvert the algorithm and the absolute real phenomenon of shadow banning that is still present on X for those on the quote unquote right. I'm just going to keep doing my thing, I suppose. And if I keep getting followers, great. If it starts leveling out and I don't, whatever. I'm going to keep putting out the fun stuff. I post what I think's interesting. I try to engage with people, and you know, maybe at some point we'll get monetized on X. Who knows? I'll get a couple dollars every couple, weeks or whatever it is. We'll see. We shall see. Real quick, we were talking about holding these people. Here's a clip from Benny Johnson and Mike Davis talking about just that, guys. The arrests are coming. The arrests are coming. Well, are they?
What's going on in the DOJ this week?
It was a very productive week. I've gone over to the DOJ and the White House several times during my vice reign here in D.C. And I would say this: there are a lot of people who are concerned about what Pam Bondi is doing or not doing at the DOJ. I think the Epstein stuff got her tripped up. I would just say to your audience, justice is coming. I promise you, justice is coming. I went and met with the Attorney General Pam Bondi one-on-one. I met with her team in the Attorney General's office. I met with Todd Blanche.
I'm surprised you had the chance to do so. I'm surprised she took enough time away from cable news spots to talk to you.
I met with Emil Bove. Todd Blanche is the Deputy Attorney General. I met with Emil Bove, who is his number two, the number two to the number two, the most powerful unknown position in the government. I met with Chad Mizell, the acting number three, and Pam's chief of staff. I met with Stanley Woodward. I met with Gail Slater. Harmeet Dillon's over there. Kash Patel's over there. Dan Bongino's over there. They're starting to fire on all cylinders. I promise you this. This is normal during a startup phase as you're getting people confirmed and staffed up. You're not going to have immediate results, but they've gotten a lot accomplished already publicly, for example, just firing a lot of the deep state, getting rid of these bad actors, chasing them out of the Southern District of New York, chasing them out of Maine Justice. They've closed a lot of these cases. They're opening cases. They're working on this. And I promise you that justice is coming. They're working with the FBI. They're working with these other law enforcement agencies. They're working with these agency heads. They're working with the DOJ leadership. Justice is definitely coming. I know it's coming.
I hope so. I'm not black-pilled yet, guys. Like I said, I'm not black-pilled yet on it. I'm still going to hold out hope. I got a couple more months to a few more months before I'm just like, what the hell? And Dan Bongino, there was a moment of verbal dyslexia there. Dan Bongino just got in, so I think he's got more leniency from me as far as my perspectives on what he's been doing, and I will wait to see. I am waiting for something good, and I still think something good is coming. I think they're still working on things, so we'll just have to see. We will. Damn it, where is this freaking... There it is. I found the link. Yes! Took me a minute, but we got to it. Let's look at this thread here from Nicolas Turza. It exposes just a little... This is actually from Data Republicans, small r. And Mike Benz found this thread that kind of gives you a little bit of an explanation as to why he was saying the things that...
My name is Nicolas Turza. I was a U.S. Army officer for about 8 years. I served first part of that as a field artillery officer. I served about a year in Korea, and then I served about a year in Iraq. I joined in about 1999, I guess officially is when I signed on the dotted line to join Army ROTC at the university level, and then officially became second lieutenant in May of 2003. And I joined, I think, for the reason a lot of people joined. It was a great opportunity. There's a lot of adventure. Of course, in 1999, we had no idea how much adventure would be entailed for us over the next 10 years. But I also just wanted to serve my country. I grew up believing that serving in the military was the right thing to do.
Back at you, James.
I believe smart power is simply leveraging all the tools that America has throughout the federal government to achieve national security objectives, business objectives, growth objectives, all those things that are in the national interest, and even at times for national values, and not just sticking with one set of tools when you have a wide variety at your disposal. I think what I saw personally in Iraq and Afghanistan is so often the Department of Defense, mainly the military, was very well funded, and we had a lot of assets at our disposal, and sometimes almost a blank check, but we didn't have the kind of subject matter expert, we didn't have the skills, and we really needed and wanted people from the Department of State, people from USAID, sometimes even from places like the Department of Agriculture or the Department.
Someone was talking about the World Economic Forum stuff. U.S. Global Leadership Corporation is the NGO that he was doing this video for. The NGOs, guys, these global homo NGOs.
Transportation to be working with us on the ground, because the nature of warfare as it is today requires far more than just the Department of Defense. In Afghanistan, in trying to pursue counterinsurgency strategy, we all the time would cooperate with the Department of State, and often Department of State counterparts from other countries, from our NATO allies. But because the Department of State for so long had...
This piano music in the background is throwing me the fuck off.
Not had enough of a presence, especially specifically in the south and in the west of Afghanistan, it hindered our ability to grow governance, because there was no way we were going to be successful in counterinsurgency unless we were also successful in growing the governance of Afghanistan. My name is Nicolas Turza. I was a captain in the United States Army, and I'm a veteran for Smart Power.
Smart Power, you say? Yeah. He argues for the involvement of USAID and Department of State in military operations. Let's go a little bit further here. U.S. Global Leadership Corporation on its YouTube channel describes itself as representing 400 NGOs and businesses. Its mission: support the smart power approach of elevating diplomacy and development alongside defense in order to build a better, safer world. Some Operation Gladio type stuff may be there, huh? Building nations, right? Griping Buddha. Damn, man, I'm sorry you're having so many issues watching the show tonight. Yours, 8243. Wish it was doing better for you. If you've been with that Republican long enough, you know this is code word for increasing non-government offices, NGOs. That's what NGO stands for, right? Non-government offices? Yeah, pretty sure that's right. I don't know. It's been a blur the past couple of days, so I could be wrong. My brain may be on the fritz. Influence in military affairs. The U.S. Global Leadership Corporation is broken into two nonprofits. Center for U.S. Global Leadership, a 501c3 with EIN 743093659, with a budget of $10 million. I guess that's what the MM stands for. Wow. That is the so-called education arm. Okay? U.S. Global Leadership Campaign, a 501c4 with the EIN 522024493, with a budget of $2 million. Their advocacy arm. So education and advocacy. Very nice. Non-governmental organization. Yeah. Neither report taking in any government grants, but they've got plenty of political influence. Let's click on that. They're bored. The U.S. GLC joins the efforts of two sister organizations into one dynamic brand with a commitment to building a better, safer world. Our board members include influential leaders from business, nonprofit, academic, and faith-based organizations. Center for U.S. Global Leadership. The Center for U.S. Global Leadership is the education arm of the U.S. GLC. develops dynamic programs in the nation's capital and across the country to educate the American public and engage foreign policy and national security leaders about the importance of America's smart power, tools of development, and diplomacy. It's fucking buzzword shit, guys. The U.S. Global Leadership Campaign is the advocacy arm of the U.S. GLC, created in 1995. This organization brings together more than 400 businesses and non-governmental organizations who share a commitment to advocating for a robust U.S. international affairs budget. So they just come together. The roster of the advisory board is like an uniparty who's who, including Hillary Clinton. This right here gives you the fucking background to this guy of why he is saying the things he was saying in that previous piece that was all from O'Keefe Media Group. This is not a good guy. This is something that pisses me off. Why? You had this evidence out there. You had this fucking evidence out there, and you still hired this motherfucker. You still put these people on your fucking payroll. You still have them working under you. Why in the good goddamn is this still happening? I get it. There's a lot of fucking rot. There's a lot of cancer, and it takes a minute to get it weeded the fuck out. But oh my God, why on earth are we still having these traitorous scum in these departments? Why are they allowed to perpetuate? I don't understand it for the life of me. Please, Trump and your cabinet, come out and explain what the fuck is going on. Why these people keep cropping up. Why these leakers keep happening. Why haven't they been addressed? And why hasn't the foot been placed down so heavily that nobody would even think of doing this anymore? Why? It's got to change. It's got to freaking change. Because if it doesn't, then it's all for nothing. But as I've said before, the communists infiltrated all of our institutions decades ago. They did it decades ago. McCarthy was right. He was right. Communists fucking everywhere, guys. There was a list. Should have put it out there more heavily. And I get it. We're all pissed off at that GD word goes through. Sorry. I'm sorry, Trish. I'll try to stop. A little bit grumpy after the past couple days. So, my bad. I'll try to stop. It is very frustrating, though. Let's get back into the thread here. The roster of the advisory board. Okay, so Admiral Mike Mullen, chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, 2007 to 11. George Allen, governor of Virginia, 1994 to 1998. U.S. Senate, 01 to 07. James A. Baker, Secretary of State. That's a bad one. A Secretary of State for Bush Sr., 1992 to 1993. Howard Berman, U.S. House of Representatives, California. James Blanchard, heard of him before. Bill Bradley, David Sisselin, Hillary Clinton, William Cohen, Norm Coleman, Bob Corker, Tom. I know a lot of these words. Or, excuse me, words are hard. I know a lot of these names. Dodd, not heard of that one. Mickey Edwards, I've heard of. Mark Esper, bad one. Bill Frist, I think I've heard of him. Robert Gates, Secretary of Defense, served under GWB and Obama administration, registered Republican. That doesn't mean anything for these establishment twats, though. Sam Gesdinson, not familiar with that one. Mike Johans. Robert Caston, I've seen his name before. Just establishment individuals. Mike Rogers, seen him. He's not great. Rick Santorum. Good God. And Robert Gates, I guess, is technically independent, but he says registered Republican. Why is he white? Look at all that. Look at all that uniparty garbage. In addition, Madeleine, was that supposed to be Albright? I think it was supposed to be Madeleine Albright was a founding member, and Colin Powell served as honorary chairman of the advisory council. There's plenty of private sector interest. For example, Karen Bhatia, who serves as an active position on the U.S. Global Leadership Campaign, currently is serving as head of government affairs and public policy at Google. I've heard that Bhatia name before. The coach here is none other than Sean Callahan, who is the CEO of Catholic Relief Services, an organization which receives substantial taxpayer support. I hate it when Catholic charities or Catholic organizations are involved in this shit. I really, really do. Oh my goodness, look at that. Harry Toe 1 over there on YouTube. Thanks so much for the support over there, Harry Toe 1. Guys, if you haven't followed me on YouTube, might as well. Who cares? I've got like 32 or 33 subscribers on YouTube. Don't expect it to really go anywhere. But, I am way more focused on the other channels. But I thank you for watching wherever you may be choosing to watch on this episode of the Dozer Den. Thank you so very much. Oh, you're going, Harry Toe. Thank you so much for the support tonight. Appreciate you. Rest well, sir. 5 a.m. Ooh, that's going to suck. Well, I hope you have a good day regardless of having to wake up that early. So, thanks so much for joining. Appreciate you. All right, data. Let's see. We got more here. There is plenty of private sector interest. For example, Karen Bhatia, who I just read that. Of more local interest, based Mike Lee might want to know that Utah's junior senator is already getting involved in this super NGO. Oh my goodness. So let's see. Who is that? Yep. Biggest backers of the USGLC, Bill Gates Foundation, and George Soros Open Society Foundation. Anybody attached to this needs to either remove themselves from it if they want any legitimacy, but they probably don't care because the ones that are attached to this are the establishment swamp creatures. Excuse me. Good God. The importance of this cannot be understated. This is the first solid confirmation I've seen that George Soros and Bill Gates are backers of the so-called Uniparty network. Yeah. I'm going to actually repost that shit. I think I reposted the whole thread earlier. But Liz, I'm going to follow. If I've not followed, oh my God, I don't follow Data Republican. Following now, though. My gosh. This is detailed. Very, very detailed thread. I might have to find that the link to this and put it in the chat or something. Oh, goodness gracious. Liz Schreier, the president and CEO of USGLC, also claims to serve on USAID's advisory committee. In the past, she also served as political director of APAC. APAC, you say? APAC, you say? Did you dare talk about APAC? Guys, if APAC is being mentioned, and they are involved in this, well, it's got me thinking.
Jews are in space, we're zooming along, protecting the Hebrew race.
Oh no. Oh no. Damn it. Every time. I found a 2024 article where she took credit for circumventing USAID and getting her own $95 billion bill passed. Oh my God. Huh. USGLC is a who's who of the Uniparty and also of the private sector, compiling the list right now. We'll get on it, Data Republican. And it is so powerful that it takes credit for $95 billion for a $95 billion spending bill in Congress that otherwise ignored Helene victims. And its backers are Soros and Gates. Reeling real harder. Set your drag right. Lord of the Ree. Good God. Well, there are countries that literally banned him, and that if he set foot in their countries, they would arrest him. I can't believe the dude's still alive. Like I would have thought the evil would have caused him to fade into the ether at some point, whatever negative recess of the ether he might creep away into. But now he's still kicking, evidently. In case you didn't expand my post above, here's a partial listing on who's on their advisory board. Yeah, there we go. We covered that earlier, or went through that just a second ago. Open Society Foundation grants. Look at that. 2022, $250,000. 2021, $450,000 from Soros. This is from the Open Society Foundations. And this guy, Nicolas Turza, is high up in the Department of Defense. I just don't get it. I don't get it, y'all. I'm sure someone might say, oh, keep your enemies close. Fuck that. Cast them out. They're obviously not doing this intentionally. They just didn't know. I'm convinced they must not have known. God bless James O'Keefe for putting this out in the spotlight, and then Data Republican for compiling all this information. My goodness. Another 75,000, 200,000, 75. I mean, and it adds up to millions of dollars from the Open Society Foundation. Goodness gracious, y'all. But the Bill Gates Foundation provided the vast majority of funding, $71 million over the years. Wow. Just wow. Global policy and executive. That looks like an Excel spreadsheet. I have my opinions on Excel. It's okay. I muddled my way through Excel spreadsheets. Not my favorite documents, just going to be honest. What's up, Cheddar Steve? Knew that Asian dude with a massive wiener. It was humongous. Well, there you go, Cheddar Steve. Not sure what that had to do with the conversation, but okay. The private sector involvement is rampant, including Johnson & Johnson, Walt Disney, Sesame Workshop, Walmart, Google, Chemonics, P&G, Coca-Cola, Pfizer, and more. Stephen K. Benjamin, President and CEO of the Benjamin Firm. Andrew H. Tisch, co-chairman of the board of chair. Oh, this is a good freaking thread. My God, this is weaponized autism, Data Republican. That's what this is. Weaponized autism. God bless you. Yep. Susan L. Fox, Senior Vice President, Head of U.S. With Walt Disney. Bridget Schmidt Gwynn, North American Public Policy and Government Affairs, PepsiCo. Shit, as I sip on my Pepsi Zero. Damn it all to hell. Oh, hell yeah. Well, shoot. Hopefully that's not indicative of what might be to come. But good job. Hey, St. Louis Blues. Good job. Mr. Wong. Cheddar Steve. Oh my gosh, what just happened? Did I miss something from Cheddar Steve? My goodness, Cheddar Steve just became a monthly supporter. Holy freaking crap. Check that out. Thank you so much for the vote of confidence there, Cheddar Steve. Absolutely amazing. Thanks so much.
I'm by winning. I win here and I win there.
Well done. You have made the children happy. Cheddar Steve. Appreciate the support, man. Hopefully you don't regret that support, and I will continue to earn your viewership and your support. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. They set the franchise record this year with 12 games in a row. Hell yes. Hell yes. Good to see. All right. Oh, we got Shredder. Did you shred? Now we got a Shredder going on here? Shredder? I don't think I've seen Shredder before. The Shredder of Cheddar. Lord C-Dubs, is that one of yours? It's Sartorius, probably. I don't know. Or we have a new one. If you're new to the channel, hi. Welcome to the Dozer Den. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. The weekday shows, more news-focused, like we're talking about right now. And then the Saturday shows, we chill. We chit-chat, have ourselves a good time. Taking music video requests for the Dozer Den DJ Hour. It's a good time. Nice. I need to pay attention to hockey. I actually really do enjoy hockey when I watch it. I just I never get a chance to sit down and watch sports. Every now and then I'll get stuck in a real Vortex on Facebook watching UFC fights, like older ones, and that's quite fun. I enjoy that. But yeah, there's a lot here from the private sector. Got Coca-Cola, Merck, public policy, Procter and Gamble. I've got a Procter and Gamble plant. Well, not close to me, but around. It's in the boot heel. But the significant uniparty NGO crossover between U.S. GLC and other U.S. government finance NGOs. Howard Berman, U.S. GLC role, advisory council member, board member, and it's all so connected. Look, my God, she's got literally this. It's like the strings. I wonder if this person, I think it's a she. If this person, I bet you, if this person does not have one of those damn cork boards with all the little strings and the little thumbtacks, I'll be disappointed. That's all I'm going to say. Hell yeah, Lord of the Ree. To be honest, I wrote this thread while I was collating the findings. I'm just shocked. This is quite possibly the missing link we've all been looking for. It kind of sounds like it. All this financial incest and the backing and this back scratching between the uniparty elites. I mean, and literally it's funded that the establishment, like I said, like I was saying earlier, the establishment Republicans are just as much to blame as the fucking Democrats, guys. Just as much. And they are backed by people like Gates and Soros. Separately, was looking into the CHIPS Act, an odd bipartisan bill which provided a windfall for colleges and universities. And presto, USGLC was involved in its lobbying. 272 unique organizations have registered to lobby on this bill. Click client's name to view all the bills. Click on the number of reports, and then we had, USGLC. Wow. This is nuts. What is going on here? A bunch of garbage, honestly. Shredder, my arch nemesis. Yeah, that's other prominent issues they've lobbied involved the IRA, which was a big NGO windfall. Seems they generally enjoy lobbying for vague spending bills rather than focused ones. So essentially the rot that has been present in the process in DC forever, they're part of it. Makes sense. USGLC have also seen major promoters of refugee resettlement and migrant financing in the United States. Sean Callahan, the co-chair of the USGLC advocacy arm and also the CEO of Catholic Refugee Services, has outright said that taxpayer dollars should be used to support resettlement of refugees to the United States. Get my denomination out your fucking mouth, Sean Callahan. I hate that they put Catholic on this stuff, and it's evidently approved by the Big C Church. It's tiresome. Let's see. Good God. So looking forward, Callahan indicated that the crisis has become so great that long-term relief must be sought. The exodus of Syrians and Iraqis from the region signals a new phase in the Syrian conflict, he said. He urged support of the bipartisan Middle East Refugee Emergency Settlement Appropriations Act. Which would release $1 billion. $1 billion! From the federal government for response to the refugee crisis, including resettlement of some to the United States. So far, the U.S. has provided $4.5 billion in funding, but according to experts, $20 billion a year in the Middle East and $30 billion a year in Europe would help fund adequate support for the refugee crisis. Global homo elites. That's what it is. President and CEO of Chemonics, Jamie Butcher, is on the board of the USGLC as well. Wow, this is an exhausting thread. It's just like each bit is just more. Yeah. What's up, JDL37? See ya. Don't forget to smash that like button if you haven't done so already. What are we at? We're at 27. It's not bad, guys. Not bad at all. here. Pull this link back up. Let's see. In fact, the USGLC and International Republican Institute, IRI, shared a security event spot at the 2024 Republican Convention. They're literally at the RNC. Literally at the RNC. Let's take a look at these guys.
We are a group of NGOs, business leaders, community leaders, former military leaders. And what brings us together is a shared vision in the value of American leadership.
Marco Rubio, formerly Tom Cotton, Lindsey Graham, mother truckers. This is an important link. I'm adding this in after the show. I'm adding this to the description for people to peruse their way through it.
We are looking out at a world that perhaps is more dangerous than at any time since the Second World War, where authoritarians are on the march.
Dictators in Russia, China, Iran, and North Korea are working together to undermine America's interests and those of our allies.
What's up, Chops? Hi,
World
team.
better
Over there on Bill
understands
Down
the
with a
threat
red bill
of Russia's expansionism.
It's a nasty world with nasty dictators. And if we actually all care about this rules-based order that we've been talking about for so long, if we actually care about the West leading, then we need to get serious, not just in rhetoric, but in policy.
America needs to show up. We have the tools to show up. U.S. global leadership is about kitchen table issues, our economic interests, our security interests, our values.
Food security. I think Tom Cotton's a snake. I think he's probably working to... I mean, if he's working with this damn organization, the IRA, which is working with the NGOs, I don't know. Tom Cotton has some good points. He does. But then at other times, he's doing stuff like this in the back channels. And I don't know. I would need to know more before I formed a full-on opinion. But some of the stuff that I've seen about Tom Cotton concerns me.
Security is national security.
Economic security is national security. And so the partnership across government with industry, it's just absolutely essential.
And in order to make a difference, it takes a strong military, hard power, but it also takes diplomacy. It takes soft power.
We need to lead. America needs to lead.
That's why we talk about leveraging diplomatic ties, leveraging friends and allies.
It is peace through strength. But if you want peace through strength, that's a moment to celebrate the State Department. We need to be able to recognize that the State Department people sign up to solve problems. And they are public servants, and they really want to be out front.
Anyway, you look at the world today, the most important thing is to defeat the Russians in Ukraine. If you want to send President Xi a message, beat Putin in Ukraine.
This is our armor, not just against China, but to support American interests and American companies throughout the world and to counter autocratic governments.
So we have to have fair and reciprocal trade, with China. And we do need trade partners.
And this is where diplomacy is really important in the work that you guys do, as well as IRI.
I see in the future is free men and free women and free markets being promoted by this country. I see a country that's confident and an economy that's booming and working with our neighbors and our friends and our allies.
I see your mouth moving, but the rest of your face has no movement whatsoever, so I'm skeptical of anything you're saying, sir.
And I see the freedom back on the march.
That was just a bunch of establishment gobbledygook. Yep. Chops ITMC over there on Pilled. State Department in photo form. It's just the picture of the back of a book, the spine of a book, and it just says advanced faggotry. Yes. Yes, indeed. That would be so cool. World Bridge. We're going to make the greatest bridge. It's going to be a bridge that everyone's going to love to cross. Yes, indeed. Putin is an articulate statesman. He is. I agree. Gosh dang. They were so powerful they got a rare speaking appearance from the sitting president at an event they hosted. And they were at the RNC. Goodness. This just keeps going. I mean, yeah, but we're almost done though. We're almost at the end. They are deeply involved in knowing how the government works. Download and save this PDF. It literally has a playbook as to the positions to create impact, which was written by the Obama administration and given the funding sources from Soros and Gates Foundation, likely influence how our migrant programs. Wow. Holy this baffling. Baffling. We're live posting. Nope. Enter doesn't hit send. Just this is crap. Facebook video where they review each nominee for the Biden administration. Sorry, I couldn't get the auto. Oh, wow. What? Oh, it's just got the Biden administration talking about so Samantha Power, USAID Administrator, Humanitarian Support, Democracy, Assistance, Economic Development. Those are not nice to have in our foreign policy toolbox. They are critical if we are to see a more stable and just world exist. I do believe so, Chops ITMC, because it was the one that Obama was coming up with. But I mean, he was 08. Well, no. He was coming in at 07 to 08. What? Or was it 08 to 09? Time has passed, guys. Time has passed. I'm digging through the congressional testimonies and came across one where both Admiral James G. Stavridis, USN retired, testifying as co-chair of the USGLC's National Security Advisory Council, and Bill Gates testified at the same Senate Appropriations Subcommittee hearing. The policy impact sought was increased public-private NGO partnerships in the global development, increased funding for global health initiative, increased foreign aid funding. Wow. Statements of Bill Gates, Ben Affleck, John Mergue, Admiral James Stavridis, and Scott Ford. Here's another one where Liz Schreier, of CEO of USGLC, Howard Core, APEC CEO, Natasha Billamoria, Director of U.S. Strategy for Gavi Alliance, all testified together to increase funding for international affairs budget. USAID stuff. Liz Schreier, CEO of USGLC, loves invoking Reagan's memory to make the case for more USAID involvement. If you followed my post, you know these uniparty NGOs have their roots in the Cold War and truly, honestly believe that without themselves, the Western world would fall apart, which is why they call themselves democracy. Wow. A new era of peace through strength. 4 decades ago, President Ronald Reagan dramatically reshaped our nation's foreign policy with his peace through strength approach by strategically deploying U.S. tools and investments to fight communism and create zone of influence around our rivals. So, with Operation Gladio, was that present? I need to talk to Sally. She did a huge expose, like research into Gladio, and had a whole lot of information on that. Wow. As part of that effort, U.S. funding for diplomacy and international assistance reached its historic height from Liz Schreier. Wow. All right. Well, that was a lot. That was a lot, guys. I don't even, I'm going to have to go through that again at some point, try to really process all of that. I'm going to put the link in the description at the end of the stream so that you guys can, I might go ahead and the link to the let me see here. So here, let's just go ahead and put it in the live chat for anybody who wants to. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yeah, it is. I'm going to put it in the live chat real quick and probably just put it in the comments. That's the Mike Benz post that has the link to the hey, Squall Rush with a post with a comment over there. Thanks, Squall Rush. I'll put it in the comments section and then maybe go back and put it in the description. He did post himself with a picture of bunny ears and said, "Follow the white rabbit." Obama was sworn in 09. That's right. It was 08 to 09. Marco Rubio controls the USAID funds now. I don't trust him. He removed himself from this organization and seems to be... I don't trust any politician. Even Trump. I mean, I hope he's going to be doing the right things, but well, let me finish this real quick. Shit. You know, I would love it if my mouse would actually listen. But yeah, Google Images has tried to Google its commie, but oh god. Got talking about the troons in the chat. I don't know if I trust Rubio. Like I said, I don't really trust any politician, but I've been impressed with Rubio so far. Like maybe he broke out of the establishment garbage. I don't know. I hope that's the case. We'll see, I suppose. First comment says it all. Yep, the faggotry. If they're in there, they're snakes. Yeah, that seems to be about the way it goes, for sure. Sucks, but it seems to be what it is. Let me check on the X peeps real quick. So almost 100 views over there. Hell yeah. YouTube is asshole. I agree, Harry Toe. Thanks for the support in all the different places. I appreciate you. Oh, C-Dubs with a repost. Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you. Heck yeah. Well, I try. Much appreciated. And I'm going to have to put up the divider because Lady Dozer is coming to bed. So Bill can never pass far too. I do have lovely eyelashes from what I've been told. A random woman in an elevator said that she knows women that would kill for my eyelashes, and I just thought that was a very odd thing to tell a stranger, but thank you for the compliment, I suppose. Just a moment. Going to put the divider up, and then the lights will go down for a moment. Don't know why I turned the camera off. Put the divider up. We're building a beautiful wall. Glorious, glorious dark wall. All right. The beard is getting there, though. It is definitely getting there, C-Dubs. It's a good one. It's almost as impressive as it was as its biggest. It's got to get about another half an inch, and it'll be about where it was at its best, the best beard. All right, let me look here. What were we going to go to next? We had a clip from Crowder. Now, we're at 2 hours, so we're probably going to adjust the show format a little bit today. We're kind of moving it all over the place with our first story changing to the update on that Judge Cano. But let me pull up. God, that was an exhaustive thing there. Ooh, brief interlude. Brief interlude here. Check this out, guys. This will make you think about definitely carrying whenever you go out in the woods. Before we get into the Hegseth video from Crowder, because Hegseth is unjustly under attack, in my opinion. Unless you, I would say you could rightfully attack the fact that they keep having these snakes, all of these snakes in their employ. That's a problem. But if you ever happen upon a juvenile mountain lion, definitely be ready to run.
Oh, 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 you, 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 you.
Mm-hmm.
Holy face. Oh, 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 oh.
Big kitty. That kitty wants to eat him.
Get the away. Get the away. Holy holy go. 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 No. Holy no, go away. Go away. No.
Kitty really wants to hurt him.
No.
Yeah, he's seeing his life.
Dude. Holy.
That he's very close to death. He walked for they cut.
Yeah, get the away from me.
He finally bent down and got a rock and tossed a rock at it, and it got it to go away. But he went like a half a mile backpedaling from this damn mountain lion. Absolutely insane. The level of butthole puckering would be unbelievable with that. Oh, yeah, that's a mama kitty. Because he ran across a juvenile.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, that's actually a shortened clip. That actually went on for like 3 to 4 minutes. And they cut a decent part of that out. Like at one point, I think he was praying. I don't fucking blame him for that. I would be too. But that'll lead us, I guess, into the next thing here. Just a brief interlude between, don't freak out. Never swear at an animal. Just grab a big stick of rock and grow. Put your arms up high and walk back. I mean, he was trying to holler at it, but no, he was walking, hiking, I think. The whole video shows him like walking down, then he happens upon a juvenile, like a cub. It's a cub if it's a mountain lion, right? And yeah, the mama was around, and when they go to protect mode for the babies, they go hard, and he very easily could have died. Just saying. Here's a little bit. So we're talking about that last guy, the Turza fellow. It kind of leads us into the next topic of the attack on Hegseth. And Mike Benz, again, providing interesting content about this. He provided a link to that exhaustive thread that we just went through. And here's this now.
10 seconds that prompted me to tweet this, in case people haven't been following. So Liz Wheeler is very...
Yeah, in the longer clip, he mentions, he said, "My God, I wish I had my gun on me. I usually bring my gun. I didn't bring my gun. I'm going to die." Like, he was convinced he was going to die. I don't blame him. I would have been too. It's a big-ass kit. You don't want that.
Very nice. She posted this 37-second clip. I didn't even watch the full 37 seconds, to be honest. Maybe I should. I paused it after 10 seconds. I went to Twitter videodownloader.com, and I cropped the first 10 seconds, and I said, okay, I've seen enough. I guess that's all I need. You know, you could train an aquatic mammal. You know, you could have a dolphin bay out the words that Pete Hegseth says here, and you could have Flipper at SeaWorld. If you could train to go and just bat out these words, I would be like, I'm okay with you being the commander of the world's largest army. And these are the 10 seconds.
Trump threatened the international order, Council on Foreign Relations, Washington, D.C., Brookings Institute types. They were never told their wars were stupid. Trump.
Good enough. He identifies the main thing. It's the institutions. It's the outside stakeholders of war, like the Council on Foreign Relations, like the Brookings Institution and their donor network. That's the reason we get involved in stupid wars. So we need to confront the institutions. We need to clean house, and we need to put an America First agenda in charge of our policy again.
How do we clean out the filth that's in these institutions when it seems to be part of the structure of the institution? Unless we just need to completely etch-a-sketch everything and just shake it all up. Like,
that's it. That's all you need. That's all I need in terms of strategic vision. That's it. He actually has his thumb direct.
Now, Trish, if at the start of the video there was a cub that he was probably, a couple hundred feet away from him down the trail, down the road. It was a road, but there he happened upon a mountain lion cub, and that's when the mama showed up and started going after him. Yeah.
Over the central dynamic of it all. I should probably listen to the other 27 seconds, right?
Trump threatened.
Right. So Jim says, yes, Mike, it's not rocket science.
Ooh, damn, G. Mondano, you had a shark experience? Yeah, they might not always be trying to bite, but sometimes they'll bite just to test things. Even if it's not mean. Why am I hearing Discord go crazy in the background?
But you'd be surprised how many people don't get it. And not necessarily because they don't get it, but because they can't say it. Because they are then boxed out of the Council on Foreign Relations. They're boxed out of the private equity funds. They can't be like Mark Milley and make 7 figures after being the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff working at JP Morgan. Yep. Going from the battle commander to a banker. Or like Jared Cohen going to Goldman Sachs. Or like all of them.
Oh, damn, Gene Mondano. It's a big shark.
But the nice thing is Pete Hegseth is probably independently wealthy because of his Fox News perch and his book sales.
Discord is
celebrity status from there.
We got, you know what though?
So he doesn't need
little community over there on Discord.
A 7-figure salary at a bank that's bankrolling U.S. foreign policy as it pertains to war. So I like it. It's elegant. It's simple. Anyway, let's hear the full clip.
Trump threatened the international order, Council on Foreign Relations, Washington, D.C., Brookings Institute types. They were never told their wars were stupid or their generals were losers or that NATO didn't step up, that China would unleash a virus. So let's call it the China virus and hold them to account for it. All of those things were a calling out of an international order that was failing and is continuing to fail and now has a great advocate in the regime currently in the White House. And Ukraine, it's basically a fight Donald Trump by fighting Putin through Zelensky war. They finally found a war they just absolutely love. Trump
Yep.
Holy shit, this guy gets it.
Yep. He was spitting hardcore truth right there.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Oh, I definitely see the appeal now. Yeah, that's totally in line with Trump's foreign policy vis-a-vis Russia and China. And it's also, so it's totally in line on foreign policy, which is shifting to great power competition with China and relative neutrality with Russia. He's totally right that it was get Trump through get Putin. And so that's the outside foreign policy that he aligns with Trump completely eye to eye on. And then the internal threats is, he said, this is very interesting.
See, Brookings Institute types, they were never told their wars were stupid or their generals were losers.
going right after the generals. And I know you guys who have read his books and have said in chat, read his books or listen to more of him. I just haven't had time. This just happened like 4 hours ago, guys. I did not, I got a lot of other stuff going on. There's other people who I diligenced for this DOD spot. Pete Hegseth was not one of them. So
he's a pleasant surprise.
But what I'm saying here,
but like even with like he can say he's saying the things Hegseth is saying the right things, but seeing who he's surrounded himself with is concerning as hell. They got to work on who they hire. I mean, that's what plagued the last administration, the last Trump administration, and it seems to be, to an extent, maybe not as much, but to an extent, a lot here as well.
Okay. What I'm saying here is this fact that he says not only were the wars stupid, but the generals were losers. Trump has had this giant battle with the generals. And I've told you guys this story many times before. When I was just a humble scribe, when I was Donald Trump's speechwriter, I remember the day.
I forgot he was a Donald Trump speechwriter.
They walked in and said, Donald Trump wants you to look up what JFK had to say about his generals. And I thought, oh my God. Does he think his generals are going to kill him?
Mm-hmm.
What did JFK have to say about his generals? But that's how locked in horns-wise Trump was with the general class. So putting someone above the generals as the Secretary of Defense to be able to clean house, and then setting up an independent board to basically keep a constant eye out for threats to Pete Hegseth. It's kind of fucking epic. It's kind of fucking epic.
Daily Beast leftist crap.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting. Okay.
It's a lot,
All
Gene
right.
Mondano. It's a lot to process, but
we're learning something here. I'm learning. I don't know if you guys are. This is all new to me.
There's a chance to course correct it, but it would take the new Trump administration going after it really hard.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire. You got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke shit, it's got to go. Either you're in for war fighting, and that's it. That's the only litmus test we care about. You got to get DEI and CRT out of military academies, so you're not training young officers to be baptized in this type of thinking.
Oh, what a hateful thing to say. You want DEI out of the military. What a vicious bigot.
And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, I don't know, 1995, let's just make those the standards. And as far as recruiting, to hire the guy that, did Top Gun Maverick and create some real ads that motivate people to want to serve. And there's lots of other ways in which you could identify who gets promoted and what, but there's an ethos change. I mean, there's a reason people don't want to serve, because they don't trust that their senior leaders are going to have their best interest in mind in combat. I know there were mistakes made on our tours all over the place, but I at least, for the most part, had a sense that my senior leaders were committed to the completion of the mission for the right reasons. And maybe there were strategic differences and all that other stuff, and it wasn't always perfect, but that trust is broken, and you have to reestablish that trust by putting in no-nonsense warfighters in those positions who aren't going to cater to the socially correct garbage.
That's good stuff.
Yeah.
I know more about this than I should. But I did get a Pentagon DEI program shut down during the Biden administration.
Ooh.
In 2021.
Well done. I think it's about all we got on that. That's just a couple more seconds. We'll finish it out. I actually didn't expect to play this whole clip, but shit, C-Dubs, chill.
I have a
I'm
funny
not trying
story.
to compete with Average Joe. Average Joe, he has not slighted me in the least, C-Dubs. But thank you for the nice words, though. I love everybody. Everybody is great. I'm going to endorse everybody. They're all on the right side. Trump did that with the Missouri governors, and then he did it with another state recently for was it Texas or Arizona, where he had two people that he really liked that were going for a seat, and he decided to just endorse both. He said, pick whichever. You're going to get a good one with either one. And I'm just like, that's weaselly. That's weaselly. I don't like that. That's politician Trump right there.
Pete Hegseth with that, actually. So I actually know about his stuff on all this, but I don't think I can tell that publicly. I want to run it by people before I talk about public, especially now it's like in the public limelight like this. But yeah, I'm very familiar with this whole thing.
All right, well, that's all there. Let me see. We had a. Let me stop sharing here. Where? There it is. This is what I wanted to play. This is what I really wanted to play when it came to Pete Hegseth. Guys, they are trying to take Hegseth out, and they're doing it because he is a threat to the military-industrial complex. Now, you can be a threat to the military-industrial complex, but if you keep hiring people and having people under you that are trying to subvert the will of the American people on a consistent basis, then you are not an actual threat. You are neutered. Considerably neutered. We were talking about castrating bulls earlier, right? Making them steers. Don't be a steer. Be a fucking bull, Pete Hegseth. Let's get it. Nut up and put these motherfuckers through the ringer. That's what we need to see. Let's look at Handlebar Mustache Crowder, because that guy pops up every now and then. And I'm not going to lie, Crowder's been getting very based since he's been focusing on Rumble. And I love to see it. He's just like a couple years older than me. I think he's like 38. Is he 36 or 38? I think he's like 36 or 37. I don't know. But, yeah, the left isn't gunning for Pete Hegseth because he's incompetent. In fact, they're actually scared of how competent he is. Boosted. Let's actually check this out real quick. Boosted morale, recruitment, gutted DEI, hardened, focus on China, punished the Houthis for messing with our ships. He's delivered as much or more than any of Trump's picks. I mean, yeah. Let's go back to the clip from Crowder. Let's listen to him real quick here.
Let's right now look at what they're saying about Hegseth on CNN. You're seeing this in real time. Let's watch it.
Very quickly. Now, as you may have noticed, the media likes to call it chaos. We call it overdue.
Shake it up.
They're going to have a panel, talking about how it's chaos. Watch.
To this call, well, I can tell you personally, it's going better than we could have ever expected.
That's one take. The reality is that some of the most biting criticism is coming from the Secretary's own, now former top aides. The White House.
There it is. Let's bring on some disgruntled ex-employees who didn't share his vision.
Hegseth's shrinking in
Here's this
circle,
bitch.
and you see Natasha joins me now. What are you learning?
What are you learning? She doesn't work there anymore.
I would note that it's not the media describing it as chaotic here at the Pentagon.
She's a
It's
correspondent
actually,
who's going to relay the information from a disgruntled ex-employee. At what point can you say, hey, shut up, let the men talk?
Politico earlier this week saying that Secretary Hegseth was fomenting this kind of chaos. At the
It's not the media, it's somebody from Politico.
Full-blown meltdown in the front office here of the Secretary of Defense. And so you kind of get a sense from that how his own former senior advisors and officials are starting to question his judgment here. And we're told
Is that a surprise to anybody with the word former?
Thank you, CW. I appreciate you, bud. I know you get spicy. I know you do, bud.
At the front of the description.
And how long were they in that position? Former, he's been in the position for 2 months?
Yeah.
Maybe?
Yeah.
Were they there before and then he took over and then he said, okay, you're not good at this, you're out. And they go, he sucks.
Yeah, were these people who were many of whom the root cause of the problem he was describing before he got the job that he had to deal with, where they wanted to perpetuate the problem? It would be just like saying, well, it turns out that his ex-wife, or turns out that his ex-girlfriend had quite a few disagreements with him and does not share his views on their relationship. Back to you, Dana. I expect former to disagree.
Disagreement number one, he left me.
Yeah. Let's hear what she has to say. I'm sure it's useless.
and it remains unclear why he needed to disclose that information on the commercial messaging app instead of through
commercial
system,
messaging
Dana.
app.
And Natasha, you're also learning more about Jennifer Hegseth's role at the Pentagon.
Exactly right. So Jennifer Hegseth, Pete Hegseth's wife, she was in that group chat on Signal where he shared that information about the military operations. And that really underscored kind of the outsized role that she has played writ large through Secretary Hegseth's tenure as Secretary of Defense so far, and also even before that during his confirmation process.
She sounds to me like she's an empowered woman who he trusts.
You would have praised Obama or Michelle Obama for that.
Yeah, exactly.
You did, actually.
He's had with his foreign counterpart, which was Defense Secretary John Healey, British Defense Secretary John Healey, here earlier this year at the Pentagon. And so she has very much been a very trusted advisor to Secretary Hegseth.
Tell me where the problem is.
On very, very closely, especially as his inner circle has dramatically shrunk in recent weeks, Dana.
Yeah, it's good that if his inner circle is shrinking, that's probably a good thing. That means that they're actually addressing the problems. I hope you guys can hear me right now because my camera seems to have crapped out. I might have to do a refresh here in a second.
Natasha, thank you so much for that. Appreciate it. And big changes may be coming to the ingredient list of food you buy at the grocery.
Wow, think about that. That entire report. This is how you know they're ginning up some controversy. Dana Bash played a clip. Let me walk you through this. Pete Hegseth, right? He was offering commentary, his perspective. Well, that's one way to look at it. Let me have a correspondent who cites sources from Politico, from former advisors and or employees who are disgruntled with him. Also, he trusts his wife.
That's exactly what just happened.
I know.
I never thought I'd see two empowered women on CNN Feminist Network come on and bash somebody for taking the opinions of his wife.
Well, here's how you know. Well, here's why. Okay, Dana Bash, whoever that broad was, and Pete Hegseth's wife. Who's prettiest? Now you have your answer. Of course, they'll bash it.
It's a good point. It's a damn good point. Let's see why my camera is not doing what I need it to do. I really hope I don't need to get a new camera. It's blinking a light at me. You can hear me, but you can't see me. Let me try a refresh. If I disappear, my apologies. Hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully I'm able to do a refresh and it fixes the camera. But we'll see. Am I back? From outer space. You can hear my soul. Oh my. Oh shit. Okay. All right. We're back. Good. Glad that it didn't end like it did the last time. You know what else I'm glad for, guys? I am glad for the fact that Rumble Center allows us to do an ad read for something like 1775 coffee. Guys, I have not gotten another box of this stuff yet. I've been suffering ever so greatly with great value coffee from Walmart. You can still kind of smell the coffee smell in this dark roast. Guys, 1775 coffee, it is truly a delight to consume. The caffeine content will get you through the day. I usually have about 2 cups of coffee a day, sometimes 3 if I'm needing that extra oomph. And 1775 coffee will give you that extra oomph. Guys, weak coffee is for the weak, and at Rumble, weak has never been part of the mission. No fillers, no fraud, and no settling for mediocrity. Just like 1775 coffee. It's single origin, small farm, hand-picked specialty grade coffee that stands for quality, free speech, and calling out the BS when it matters. Forget stale, mass-produced beans, roasted just enough to hide the flaws. Dark roast hits like a Trump tariff. Medium roast keeps it bold without the bitterness, and Vitality Mushroom Blend, that's for real energy and lasting focus, guys. No synthetic garbage. No room for that garbage here. Nope. For K-Cup pods, whole bean, or fresh ground coffee, go to 1775coffee.com. Use code STUDIO, that's STUDIO, for 15% off. And start your morning with coffee that stands for something, because you don't want coffee that falls for anything, guys. It's got to stand up strong, especially in the morning. You stand up real strong in the morning, every morning. Oh, and every dollar spent enters you. I don't think this is still active, but maybe it is. Did they announce who won the Cybertruck and the $30,000 yet? Apparently, you had a chance to win $30,000 and a Cybertruck. I don't know if that contest is still going, but regardless, 1775 coffee is truly delicious, and it is worth consuming and worth buying, in my opinion. So, there you go. We came back hot and heavy with an ad read, guys. Hopefully, I made that enjoyable for y'all. I try to give a little bit of gusto with an ad read. I try. But yeah, the left is absolutely trying to, the establishment Republicans as well are trying to destroy Pete Hegseth. These people, they think they own everything. They think that they are the ones, and they are the types that are going to be on the same side as James Lindsay, in my opinion, with his retarded woke right take. It seems like woke right is just anytime you disagree with establishment conservatives, you're woke right. If you have a spicy-ish take on some country in the Middle East, you might be called woke right. It honestly, and I just made this connection earlier today in my head. Woke right, the disparaging comment woke right is pretty much saying the same thing that alt-right. When they used to say alt-right all the time from the left, now you have establishment conservatives that are calling anybody that goes against their general basic bitch conservatism, they're calling that woke right. Just because you disagree with some of their perspectives does not make you woke right. That's silly. I would call woke right those that cancel others based on having an opinion outside of the norm. That's what I would call woke. But James Lindsay has just lost the plot. And then you have people like Douglas Murray and Jordan Peterson to an extent. Although I'm not ready to write off, Jordan Peterson all the way. I think he just get out from underneath the thumb of old Ben Shapiro. Well, you gotta make your bed. You gotta make your bed. Well, sometimes I just cry, and I can't help it. I cry all the time. I can't help but cry because I have so much emotions. Because out of the drugs that I took, it damaged my brain. Make your bed. Wash your wiener. He's so close to being Kermit. Like, well, you got to make your bed. You got to make your bed in the morning. Yeah, it's Piggy. It's pretty much Kermit. Kermit and Jordan Peterson are very similar voices. You can't unhear it. Mm-mm. Yep. Yeah. Nice, Sertorius01. Oh. Yeah, the robots are taking over, Trish. You're talking about the robots at the dang checkout. Where's my sound for that? They need to make this sound board feature a little bit more. Sound warning, by the way, Trish. This is a loud one. If you want to turn it down a little bit, since you mentioned the robots taking over at Sam's Club and you're canceling your membership.
How appropriate to have a robot overlord rule a robot kingdom.
Yes. Yes, indeed. What's up, Neurodivergent One? Good to see you, bud. Awesome mod in the chat. Don't forget to smash that like button. Absolutely. Smash it hard. Hard as you can. You know what else? You know what else gets smashed hard? Anything that J.D. Pritzker comes into contact with. Each step that he takes, anytime he sits down, all of the atoms are getting compacted and compressed and smashed so hard that, honestly, it's probably causing miniature black holes to be formed because of the intense compression. And J.B. Pritzker, he's throwing his weight around, guys. Yet again, he is thunderously thumping his way across the ocean in a metaphorical way to tell El Salvador that he's not pleased at all with what they're doing with that very innocent, very special Maryland man, that Kilmar Armando Abrego Garcia Enchilada Taco Quesadilla. How many fucking names do you need? MS-13 man. Not Maryland man. MS-13 man. Maryland man disinformation. Misinformation. I just can't stand it. Sometimes you do gotta whoosh, slap that beach. That right there, guys, if you subscribe, like we had earlier today. It happened earlier today, guys. It was beautiful. When you subscribe, you get access to a plethora of subscriber-only emotes. And your name will be forever lit up in the most beautiful shade of MAGA red. That rumble rash, it continues. It perpetuates. And it's delightful. Downright delightful. Let me see. Oh, man. What was I looking for here? Oh, man, guys. Get them. Damn right. J.B. Pritzker has decided that he's going to be real tough with Bukele, and try to get them to. It's what is up with the left? What is up with these Democrats that are so dedicated to illegal aliens over American citizens, and the time that they are wasting going down to El Salvador to talk to this fucking gang member? They could be focusing on, I don't know, helping their constituents, but their constituents are so freaking brainwashed that they will look at this and cheer. They will look at this and say, oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Van Hollen, or whatever your name is. Thank you so much, the chick that said she's not going to leave until they release him. Release the illegal alien back into America. So you're advocating for illegal bullshit. The Supreme Court saying that we should facilitate his return. They need to get more concrete in that, because it's been interpreted in multiple different ways. And I agree with the administration that it is, if he showed up, we would allow him to enter and then immediately detain him and give him his formality hearing, because that's what it is. I think it's a CIS hearing. I think that's what it's called. And then he would be deported immediately after that. There's no scenario, like Caroline Levitt said, there's no scenario where he stays here. He's an illegal alien that was up for deportation, and then he's been part of he's been part of a gang, MS-13, which has been designated a terrorist organization. And according to the Alien Enemies Act, you can absolutely use that to get somebody the fuck out of our country. Stop acting like this is some innocent little American man who's been working. Oh, he was working for the union. And no. Shut the fuck up, Hassan Piker, you stupid little himbo. No, bro. No. Commie scum. Absolute commie scum. What's up, you wrong? Good to see ya. The Democrats think MS stands for many smiles. Yep. You have 5 proper names without titles. Nicknames unfamiliar. Well, that's different. That's different. See, I'm just 3. I mean, I've got the second, but William Joseph Atkinson II. That sounds so official. Oh, damn. Internet went out shortly after. Heard a couple of fire whistles going off, so probably an accident. Oh, damn. That sucks, Neuro. Glad your internet's back, though, man. We had no internet the other day. I wouldn't have been able... If I wouldn't have had all the family stuff going on Thursday or Tuesday, I would have actually been able to stream. It would have been a late show to get together, because my internet didn't come back until 8:40 that night. So it finally came back, but I had all the other stuff that I was working on, worrying about the family stuff. So family's first always. And that's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be for work. Anytime, I never put my work before family either. So, and again, I appreciate the prayers and appreciate the well wishes for the stuff for sure. But speaking of Based Crowder, just shortly, I think this might have been the same episode of Louder with Crowder. I've been missing Louder with Crowder, and I hate that because I actually really enjoy watching it, and I just don't go back and rewatch it for some reason. But I do this. He's talking about the Carmelo Anthony and Austin Metcalf thing here, and Crowder is getting quite based, and I am here for it.
The donations include comments like this on their Give, Send, Go. I support your son. It's difficult raising black males in this country. Thank you for standing strong for your family. Is it difficult, though? Is it difficult, though, with a Yukon and a Lexus and a cruise and a Vegas vacation and a $900,000 house? Is it that difficult to make sure that the kid doesn't become a part of the statistical reality in stabbing an innocent white kid? Is it really that difficult? Hey, you know who doesn't think it's that difficult? Most white people in this country. The donations include comments like this on their Give.
Oh, Crowder is getting loose, and I like it. This Rumble Crowder is best Crowder. I will say that. That a year ago, 2 years ago, that wouldn't have happened. You got to be able to acknowledge. The fuck? You got to be able to acknowledge the reality. And there is a reality. It's inconvenient for some, but you have to be able to acknowledge it. It's oh shoot, sorry. I don't know why it's playing. This is it's something. I will say this, and I've said it before, don't let them start a race war, because that's not what it's about. Yeah, 2 years ago, Crowder would have never said that shit. Was it 2 years? He's been out of the blaze longer than 2 years, hadn't he? I don't remember. But yeah, this that was good though. You got to be able to acknowledge the stark reality, and to be able to acknowledge that for some reason, less melanated individuals are targeted by those with the melanin. I don't get it. And don't let them start a race war. That's what they want. They want us nipping at each other based on the color of our skin or class. And that's not what we need to do. But you can still acknowledge the problem. And I think actually this little clip from Ian Carroll, kind of does a good job.
Back to the same thing we're talking about with AOC in front of that American flag, where they blame all of these things on America as though America was the problem.
Right.
Same thing with this entrenched racism, right? If you don't have a background in understanding how the CIA works and how the crack cocaine epidemic actually started, if you don't know how the private prison for profit pipeline works and how many black people they are literally still working as slaves to this day, and that corporations like McDonald's and Starbucks and Verizon are profiting off of slave labor in our prison system today, paying prisoners cents per hour wages.
Yes.
That, like, if you don't understand those things, then you could think, oh my God.
They've influenced poor white communities too, with like meth and prescription drugs. So it's not just the black communities that were targeted with crack. They've done it to all the lower class communities, regardless of race. But he does raise good points here.
Gosh, America is full of entrenched racism. But what it actually is it's deep state and corporate programs that are profiting to the tunes of billions of dollars off of literally smuggling crack cocaine into the black neighborhoods in LA in order to impoverish those black neighborhoods. They are running sexual blackmail operations in the black music industry with people like Pete
100%.
Diddy and promoting degenerate music in order to promote degenerate culture, in order to have gangster culture, thug culture, hoe culture, because that keeps this type of people in this lower vibrational thinking. It keeps them doing things that will lead the men to prison and lead the women to whatever the hell it's leading them to. And that is so profitable to them that
ain't gonna need no man. Your man is trash. Daddy government.
There's corporations profiting off of it. There's organized crime profiting off of it. There's government profiting off of it. And then they don't have to worry about the votes so much because they can just kind of keep this whole scheme going that they've always had of like the blacks will always vote for the Democrats because because like
the welfare enhancements.
Yeah,
we made.
Fortunately, they're starting to wake up, but
they create the problem in order to offer the solution. Just like
and then they try to
9/11.
blame the problem on America as though America was the problem, and then when the problem was actually kind of like the deep state all along.
Literally, yes. Literally, yes. All that in a bag of chips. Wasn't a fan of Crowder because I looked at him as an annoying puppet, but I think he's not controlled now. That's, yeah. Yeah. It's Crowder is definitely seeing some interesting stuff. So came here to regain some sanity. Thanks. Well, you're welcome, Gene Bandano. I'm not sure how I've helped you regain some sanity with my ramblings, but you're welcome. Yeah, profiting off of our tax dollars, absolutely. So the internet came back on, and I came straight here, so I missed about the last 10 minutes of your stream. Oh, good. Hey, hell yeah, man, hell yeah. Appreciate you coming by, Neuro. You a real one, man. Let's see here. Here's a... I saw this back and forth between Charlie Kirk and an Iraq war veteran, and I don't... The guy makes good points, and Charlie Kirk, like, I don't agree with necessarily all of this guy's points, but he does raise good questions. And I'm not saying I endorse everything either side is saying here, and I think Charlie Kirk is disingenuous when he says he doesn't know about the passports. But this is kind of speaking of based, this guy's saying it's all the Jews. Not all the Jews. But an interesting clip nonetheless. This back and forth between Charlie Kirk and this guy. I think this guy is a little bit deep into the rabbit hole, but before he gets to it's all the Jews, he's raising good points. So here's a clip. Speaking of base Crowder, here's Charlie Kirk being disingenuous and lying on my opinion about his knowledge of the passports on 9/11. That's part of this, but I think Charlie's done a good job, but I think Charlie is controlled.
Believe that the Jews run the American government.
That's not a secret, Charlie.
Well, no, I find it hilarious that
all Trump's
It's not all the Jews. There's certain powerful people who happen to be Jewish and they have connections. It's not because of their freaking ethnicity or their religion. I don't think judging people based on immutable characteristics is a smart thing. But this
cabinet is Jewish. Have an AIPAC advisor. Not a single person in Congress can make a decision without asking their Israeli Jewish AIPAC advisor. Israel did 9/11, Charlie.
Oh, they did. Wow.
Why are we in the middle? I served. Why were we in the Middle East?
I mean, our government facilitated 9/11. Israel had knowledge of it. Saudis were the ones that did it. Was Israel involved? I haven't read enough into it. I've heard that they are, but I haven't done enough research into it to say whether or not for sure that they were. But the whole dancing Israeli thing was documented. So there's that.
Well, I mean, you can,
why were we in the Middle East?
You can reject involvement in the Middle East without also believing Israel did 9/11. So if Israel did 9/11, help me understand this. Who were the hijackers of the planes?
They weren't hijackers.
Oh,
CIA and Israel worked together.
No. Explain to me what happened on the aircraft.
I mean, Alex Jones has talked about how they might have remote controlled the aircraft.
Okay, first off, what we have to understand, there's only one plane that actually crashed.
No, there were three.
No, the building's imploded.
Okay,
if a plane's going to hit a building, why would the building fall down?
Time out. Flight 93, did it exist?
Flight 93 existed, yes.
Okay, so who tried to hijack that plane?
They sacrificed those people to make it look like Bush was targeted because they wanted to cover up Bush's involvement. He just happened to be in Texas reading a book to elementary kids, and they're reading a sign on a whiteboard
let me say
that talks about towers falling, Charlie.
Anti-Semitism.
We have been lied to since the beginning of this country. Jews, Freemasons, all of it's a satanic agenda. Israel is the synagogue of Satan. They're killing innocent people in Palestine over the guise of sovereignty. New World Order is coming, Charlie.
Guys, anti-Semitism is literally...
And that's the thing where this guy, I think the guy, the veteran that's talking, dipped into anti-Semitism with a little bit because it sounds like he's saying, I think I would like to have a conversation with the guy and ask him what he means by that. Like, I think Charlie Kirk is maybe unfairly characterizing it as that. Although he does say the Jews did this, the Jews did that. Okay, well, let's maybe not just characterize all Jews, because it's very rarely all of one party.
Yeah, brain cancer, as you can see.
How is this anti-Semitic, Charlie?
Okay. Explain to me Flight 93. Who was it?
The government put them there.
No, who was it?
They crashed a plane intentionally to make it look like George W. Bush was targeted.
Who was the hijacker?
That's
important. They can never
see that one was pretty rough. That was Charlie Kirk got him there.
Never answer this question. Who was the hijacker?
They didn't have real hijackers, Charlie. They were plants.
Okay. So they got the black box. Of course, it was all just like a conspiracy.
Just like they found the passport miraculously 2 miles down from the crash site in
I'm sorry,
New York.
what?
They just miraculously 2 miles down from the.
It's like a conspiracy.
Just like they found the passport miraculously 2 miles down from the crash site in
I'm sorry,
New York.
what?
They just happened to find one of the hijackers' passports laying on the ground 2 miles away from the crash site in New York.
Charlie Kirk knows exactly what the fuck that man is talking about right there. Charlie Kirk looked down. Charlie Kirk acknowledged what he was saying, and he is acting like he has no idea what that man is talking about. Bull fucking shit, Charlie Kirk. That's bitch made. You know exactly what this man was saying right there. That is the part that really pissed me off about this part, this video. Charlie Kirk knows what that man is talking about.
It just happened to be there. They just walked up and found it. They just randomly happened to find a perfectly good passport.
With that piece of
lying sack of shit. He is doing all the tells. He's absolutely being dishonest right there. If you're involved in politics, as much as someone like he is, you have absolutely heard about the damn passports that they found that were in pristine condition after the planes and all the fires. Like, really? Full head almost fell off.
Look it up. Look, World War II was fought not over what everyone thought it was fought of. Every war is fought by. It is funded by the rich, the Rockefellers.
True.
All the rich, the Rothschilds.
Okay, so yeah, let me ask you a question.
They funded all those wars.
Was Hitler bad?
God, and why did just really? That's where you went. I mean, I guess he's trying to get to the crux of, is this guy anti-Semitic? Which I get it, but there was a much better way he could have done that. That was weird. Of course, Hitler was bad.
I think Hitler was bad. Yes,
he said
Hitler was bad.
Hitler
Yes,
was bad.
But
did the Holocaust happen?
The Holocaust did happen.
How many people died?
Not 6 million.
How many?
It was.
There's no real good way to know exactly how many people died because the records weren't kept well and a lot of stuff was destroyed. There's no good way to tell how many did die. But regardless, there was a Holocaust. A lot of people were killed because of Hitler's actions. Hitler was a bad dude. That's why he's trying to cast him as a Hitler friendly. That's not what I think this guy is. I think he's passionate and maybe a little bit, manic in his kind of presentation here, but
There's not 6 million.
How many?
I don't have an exact number, Charlie.
Yes.
I don't have an exact number. It wasn't 6 million.
But you said it's not 6 million. You must have an alternative. How do you know it's not 6 million?
Because there wasn't even 6 million Jews in Germany.
Okay, well, I mean, you tell me. You're the expert.
The reason why Jews have been run out of 109 countries throughout history is because every time they get...
And this is where he gets to that's where he's getting into the anti-Semitic. Like, I mean, I know people say that, but I think when you do that, you are falling into the anti-Semitic trope, probably.
To a country, they try and take it over. In Nazi Germany, again, they are having transgender surgery.
This is true, though. The Weimar Republic, the fucking transgender operations and procedures, we're starting there.
Underground transgender surgeries. They're promoting homosexuality in schools.
That's the thing, though. It's like, that's the thing where people get so freaking lost in this that they decide that it's all the Jews. Because it's a couple Jews or just this Jew did this or this Jew did that it's going to be all of them. And it's like, that's where you lose it. You're making an overgeneralization. And I think that's where you lose credibility, and that's where you start to fall off of the logic train. Yeah. That's what I think. But everybody is entitled to their opinion, though. And if you feel a certain way, you feel a certain way. And I think that you should look into things as much as you can and not necessarily look for confirmation bias. And I think sometimes that's what people do. But that was just an interesting back and forth I felt like sharing. So, interesting stuff. But also I think in a more measured setting instead of a public back and forth like that, there might be more reasonable perspective from that guy. But when he started talking about the 109 countries, and that's where you lose me. That's where it's like, come on, man. Like if you're blaming it on it just because of the Jews, that's bad. Don't judge people based on immutable characteristics. That's gay and lame. That's just my opinion. But yeah, that's interesting. I think there's a lot. It's a lot more than just Jews that we have to worry about. It's not just the Jews. The Jews. Yeah. You don't recognize the Judea in front of Christianity? Fair enough, Chopside TMC. Interesting points there. Here's the thing. Even if... yeah. For that... let's see. Like that. So stories I heard from my great-grandmother told me many friends had a number of tattoos. I remember asking about them. Horrific. Yeah, they did some fucked up things to the Jews. It's like, and people would be like, "Oh, well, most of the deaths were from typhus," and maybe I don't know. I think it's a really you can't. The record keeping was shit, and a lot of the stuff was destroyed. So can we know for sure? No, but regardless, there were a lot of Jews that were rounded up in camps and ended up dying. And the actions that Hitler took led to a lot of Jews dying simply because they were Jews. That's a problem. It's like just because Soros, right? Just because somebody like Soros is involved in all this nefarious shit doesn't mean that we blame it on all the... Like, when you do that, you're doing the same thing that... I mean, it's honestly similar to lefty stuff. Like, you're taking one and then attributing it to all. You're blanket statementing. And if you want to do that, that's fine, but that's just not my style. We diverted hard from J.B. Pritzker. We're at 3 hours, though. Let's get into the article from about J.B. Pritzker. If I can find it. Here it is. How did we get on that rabbit trail? I don't even know, y'all. I'm kind of tired. Not gonna lie. But we were talking about Pritzker throwing his weight around, influencing people. Talking about the left. We were talking about all these Democrats, all the hatred of America. That's how it ended up happening. We squirreled hard. Really? We do a little bit of weave. Yeah. When you start getting on the emotion instead of the objective facts, that's when you're starting to lose the argument when you get into it. And I think that's what that guy was doing. He got emotional. Charlie was being a douche. And Charlie acting like he didn't know about the passports, absolutely disingenuous. And I don't like Charlie Kirk for stuff like that. I think he's taken the mantle of the change my mind by going to the college campuses like Crowder used to do. But Charlie Kirk, he does some good, and he does a lot of good, I think. But when it comes to Israel, it's like you can criticize Israel and not be anti-Semitic. Just because you're Christian doesn't mean you have to bow to the state of Israel. Just saying. And you can acknowledge when a country does bad things. Don't make America the shithole you left, please. Yep. What's up, Sam Duty? Finally got here. Hope everyone's having Man, you're lucky I didn't tap out earlier. I was getting a little bit sleepy. I think he's a net positive. He can be. Yes, I do think he's a net positive. But I think that the people, when you look at the people that were at the RNC with that the stuff that we were talking about earlier with the US GLHC or whatever it is, it's like all those NGOs and stuff. It's like, how many of them have their tendrils just woven into these establishment conservatives? It's like, again, and this is why I don't trust. Trust is very hard to earn, especially in the political sphere. And I think it's good to keep a skeptical mindset when it comes to political figures and big figures in politics. You question them like you would question anybody on the left. So it's always just good to keep your guard up. Illinois Governor Pritzker acts against El Salvador over Kilmar Abrego Garcia. From Chicago, John Clark, News Nation, which News Nation has gone like, I don't know what happened to News Nation, but they are way off from what they used to be. They got people like Cuomo on there. Their establishment. Their establishment now. And that's sad. Look up Anarcho. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Chops ITMC, and I will look that up. Where did it go? If I can actually pull up my screen here. Where be I? I need to fill out my stuff. Oh, gotcha, Chops ITMC. It's screenshotted for later. Screenshotted? So, Pritzker announced the state will take punitive actions against the country of El Salvador for holding Kilmar Abrego Garcia in custody. The United States Constitution guarantees due process. He had all the due process. He had more due process than most people. He had all the due process he could possibly have, J.B. Pritzker. You suck. We are witnessing Donald Trump eroding our fundamental constitutional rights in real time, and we must fight to restore the balance of power, said Pritzker. The state of Illinois will stand up to for the rule of law and do everything in our power to stop the Trump administration from ripping apart our most basic rights. You must have had a chunk of fat get dislodged from your abdomen and go into your bloodstream, and now it's in your brain and you're having a stroke because you're making no fucking sense. Liar. Alleged high-ranking Tren de Aragua member charged after arrest. Well, that was that one. Abrego Garcia, an accused, pretty much confirmed, MS-13 gang member, was deported from Maryland and to his home country. Look at that, News Nation. Yeah. In March, despite a 2019 court order barring his deportation to El Salvador. Actually, if you look at Robert Govea's coverage of this, technically the order said that he couldn't go back to Guatemala. Didn't actually say that he wasn't allowed to be sent back to El Salvador because his family, with the pupusa business that he was concerned about with those other gang members, the 18th Street gang, apparently they were involved in Guatemala, where his family was. He was a protected class based on familial connections in Guatemala. So the order technically says don't send him to Guatemala, where his apparently his mama was. So he very reasonably was sent to El Salvador. Technically, they didn't violate any ruling, any withholding ruling. Technically. And that was a great catch by Robert Govea. Absolutely great content from him, by the way, if you haven't checked out Robert Govea. Let's see. He wants to stop contracts with companies controlled by El Salvador. Pritzker has asked the Illinois State Board of Investment and the State University's retirement system and the teachers' retirement system to review any investments in companies controlled by El Salvador with the purpose of withholding investments in those companies. The governor is also directing the Illinois Department of Central Management Services to identify state contracts with companies controlled by El Salvador with the purpose of stopping them. Additionally, Pritzker wants the Illinois Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Office of Trade and Investment to... God, what is up with all these fucking words? Department of Commerce and Economic Opportunity Office of Trade and Investment. DCES. Why? State agencies doing this is silly. Be more concise. Brevity is the essence of wit. An investment to send in an analysis of the scale of trade El Salvador has with Illinois. The action came as the outspoken Illinois governor positions himself in the global affairs, which have included signing trade agreements with the state of Mexico and the United Kingdom, efforts that some say point to a possible 2028 presidential run. I don't think we could call anything that J.D. Pritzker does as a run. I think you could call it a waddle. It would be a 2028 presidential waddle, not a run. There's no running for Pritzker. And here's the lie. The Kilmar News Nation, fucking stop misreporting this. It says Kilmar Abrego Garcia mistakenly deported to El Salvador. That's a lie. He was meant to be deported. Yeah. Abrego Garcia, 29, was mistakenly deported in March. He entered the U.S. illegally, but has been living in the country with his wife under protected legal status since 2019. That's a withholding order on the deportation order. That is a weird way to phrase that there. Weird way to phrase that shit, News Nation. And the fact that the withholding order didn't even factor in anymore because that 18th Street gang that he was so concerned about isn't present in El Salvador. So there's no reason why he couldn't get sent. Just saying. Goodness gracious. Starting to get a little bit sleepy, y'all. That protected legal status should have prevented him from being deported after a judge heard his case and decided his life was in danger in El Salvador. According to the court documents, he was arrested in 2019 in Maryland along with 2 known members of MS-13 for loitering. So right there, they acknowledge that, but then he says, like, loitering in a Home Depot parking lot, by the way, though. Yay for stereotypes. A police report from the Prince George's County Police Department in 2019 noted he was wearing a Chicago Bulls hat and a hoodie with the rolls of money covering the eyes, ears, and mouth of the presidents. Officers know such clothing to be indicative of the Hispanic gang culture. The Trump administration has continued to argue that Abrego Garcia is a gang member after they say a confidential informant identified him as such, specifically saying he was part of MS-13's Long Island leadership. MS-13, also known as Mara Salvatrucha, has been designated a terrorist organization by the U.S. State Department. It was created by Salvadoran immigrants in the country before gaining a foothold in Central America, officials said. Abrego Garcia has denied the accusations, said he's never been to Long Island. Law enforcement in Suffolk County and Nassau County in New York State does not have an arrest record or a record of investigation into him. The Supreme Court ordered him to facilitate the return. A federal judge said the Trump administration is ignoring court orders, obstructing the legal process, and acting in bad faith. By refusing to provide information about the steps it has taken, if any, to free Abrego Garcia. We shouldn't be trying to free him. He's the fucking El Salvadoran, and the country of El Salvador gets to decide what the fuck to do with him. It's outstanding. Outstanding how insane these people are. The U.S. Supreme Court ordered the Trump administration to nearly 2 weeks ago to facilitate Abrego Garcia's return to the U.S. from a Salvadoran prison, rejecting the White House's claim that it couldn't retrieve him after mistakenly deported. That's not mistaken. He was supposed to be deported. Why do they keep saying it? They just keep saying the lie over and over and over and over again, and it gets old. It gets old. So the person that said that, the person that reported it was a mistake, they got fired. Okay? Fucking fired. Because they were incorrect in their statement that it was a mistaken deportation. But they said it, and the media has just sunk their teeth in. Trump administration officials have pushed back, arguing it was up to El Salvador, though the president of El Salvador has also said he lacks the power to return Abrego Garcia. The AP contributed to this report. News Nation has fallen off so hard. Like, they used to be one of the alternatives to the establishment, but now they're right there in the cahoots with them. I wonder who bought News Nation. That's probably what it is. Somebody probably bought them. Anyways, let's see. There's a naturalist, and he told me not to eat any cheese. Says it's causing cancer. Well, that's crazy. I like cheese. You know what? I'm going to keep eating cheese, even if it does cause cancer. I'm more worried about all the other crap that they're putting in the food that's causing cancer. I mean, how much cheese? Like, if you eat too much of anything, it can be bad for you. So maybe it's like you can eat a measured amount of cheese and not get cancer. Maybe. I don't know. Guys, it is at 3 hours and 18 minutes. I don't think we're going to go ahead and... I think we're going to save the COVID leak, lab leak theory, confirmation rather, for another show. Probably not on Saturday, maybe next Monday. But I will go ahead and pull up a Massey Minute clip because I'm going to get better at doing the Massey Minutes. Words, typing, hard. Where you be? What do we want to do here? What do we want to do? He actually posted a really cool article that I've not delved into, but I want to, about Biden's recently declassified plan raising serious civil liberties concerns, obliterate the line between legitimate security threats and constitutionally protected speech and behavior. Officials aim to track concerning non-criminal behavior in the last administration. That's spicy from Massey. Let me eat Taco Tuesday amount of cheese. Solid. Living causes cancer. Yes, that's at this point, yes. Pretty much just life causes cancer. It's interesting, though, you think about how the DNA is tweaked in certain ways. Well, that's a little bit nihilistic there. C-dubs. True, but, you know. All right, we're going to find something from his clip from the interview that he had with Tucker Carlson. Mike Johnson and the Deep State. Let's pull up the clip of I thought I would be able to click on that. Okay, so now we've got Tucker Carlson and Thomas Massey talking about Mike Johnson and the Deep State. Here for the Massey Minute, you guys. Yes, Gene Mondeno, I did see that. I haven't been able to watch his trial coverage, but I did catch his, after my show, I caught most, either I've rewatched or caught the tail end of his show. Yeah, glad to see him back. The Nose Pope has returned. That fag. Monkeypox and AIDS rackets.
Republican Speaker of the House Mike Johnson is working for the Democrats.
Yeah, it's that simple. I mean, and that's one of the reasons we went through with the motion to vacate. Paul Gosar and I co-sponsored Marjorie's motion to vacate. There were ultimately 11 of us who voted for it.
Motion to vacate would be to fire him.
To fire Speaker Johnson, just like they had done Kevin McCarthy. Although I thought inappropriately and at the wrong time and for the wrong reasons, they did that to McCarthy. But here we had Speaker Johnson, who was doing all of the things people were afraid McCarthy might do. They pre-convicted McCarthy for things they thought he would do. And here Mike Johnson came and did all these things. He put an omnibus on the floor. He passed the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, re-upped that without warrants, built the FBI a new building, and gave Ukraine all this money. So what happened, what Marjorie and I and Paul decided ultimately is we needed to expose the uniparty. And never before have you had Democrats vote for a Republican speaker. And that's why we forced the question. Nancy Pelosi voted for him. Hakeem Jeffries went on national TV and said, why would we want to get rid of him? He's given us everything we want.
Yep.
I mean, the uniparty has never been so exposed as it was when we called that motion to vacate. I know some people got mad at us that we
always
shouldn't
late
have done it, but it's a long game. We certainly hope that he doesn't become speaker next January. And hopefully people will have seen with Nancy Pelosi rushing to Speaker Johnson's aid that he's not the speaker you want when Trump wins the White House and we keep the majority.
Do you think he will be?
A lot of this depends on what the people want. And if they can see it, hopefully also Trump sees it, that Mike Johnson would be even worse than Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan while we were still in the majority, Paul Ryan sent like a dozen CRs or omnibus bills to President Trump's desk that didn't have any money for a wall in it. Like he had no intention of ever funding a wall. Paul Ryan did, and so I think Mike Johnson is going to be similarly the same way.
Maybe
he's basically working for the deep state.
I mean, Massey's usually on point. This is before he had a beard, by the way. This is still the slightly more pudgy and less bearded Massey. But still, Chad Massey, nonetheless.
Oh. This point in the uniparty.
How did that happen? Do you have any idea?
The Paul Ryan bit, or
no? Well, Paul Ryan is a
change.
Is a sinister person, I happen to know, but also, not a genius.
But he does P90X.
and an ideologue at the same time, which is like a bad combination. Dumb ideologues are the scariest. But Mike Johnson seemed like kind of a moderately conservative, kind of sincere, decent guy. You know, maybe he would babysit your kids and do an okay job, unlike Paul Ryan. But then he immediately just becomes a tool of CIA and Jake Sullivan and the Biden administration. Like, wow, how did that happen so fast?
Well, one of the things he claims, which I don't believe is true, and I have reason to say this, is that he says he went in a skiff. Like, he's had some 180-degree turns on some things, like, for instance, whether you need a warrant to spy on Americans using the Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act, 702 program. Well, he used to be on Judiciary Committee with me and Jim Jordan, trying to reform that, trying to get...
So he understood what it was.
He knew completely what we were talking about. He's an attorney too, right? And he knows the Constitution. He knows this is required, but he claims he spent time in a skiff and he learned things. Skiff, that's secure, compartmentalized information facility or something. It's where we go. We have to leave our phones locked up, you know, no staff in there. He claims he spent time in skiff and learned things that changed his mind. Here's the problem, Tucker. I was in the skiff with him. Like we had DNI, not just the current DNI, but the former DNI, John Radcliffe, Trump's DNI. We had CIA, we had FBI, we even had a FISA judge in there, and we spent 3.5 hours. It was a 4-hour meeting, and after 3.5 hours, it's basically a psyop where they're just trying to beat you down and do the things. And I was like, this is ridiculous. They didn't give us one example of any time ever since FISA was created that getting a warrant would have kept them from solving or preventing an act of terrorism. They gave hypotheticals, but they had no specific.
And I think FISA has been in place since 1978, since the 70s.
Right.
So almost 50 years. And they couldn't give you one example?
Not one example. Now, they also expanded it after 9/11. And to do the program to go against civilians, to spy on civilians. And actually that product came out of the Judiciary Committee. Here's another place where the speaker betrayed us. FISA 702 was created by John Conyers and Jim Sensenbrenner. Conyers was the chairman and Sensenbrenner was the ranking member. And what Mike Johnson said this year was, well, even though the Judiciary Committee created this and is responsible for overseeing it, I'm going to let the Intel Committee bring the bill to the floor without warrants in it. It wasn't even their jurisdiction. They have jurisdiction over FISA as long as it's for the CIA, but not for the FBI. So that was frustrating. But
it's shocking. It's shocking.
It is shocking. So he said,
like end of civil liberties level stuff. So
yes,
yes, but it's not like he learned new information in the skiff.
No, he did not. I was there.
He's a liar. Mike Johnson's a damn liar.
So what? So that's a lie.
That's the problem, right?
Right.
The fact that I was there,
right? So that's
telling
a lie.
people on your show that I was there for 3.5 hours. And go ask Mike Johnson. He'll say, yep, he was there 3.5 hours.
So what is the truth? What
See you at Topside TMC. Rest well. It's already 1 o'clock. My goodness.
I think he's kind of a lost ball in tall weeds. I think he's in a position of power he never imagined he would get to at this point in his life. He's not done anything in private practice or political arena that's prepared him for this. He took the job with a very small staff. He didn't have people to put.
You got to make sure you have a great large staff. You can't have a small staff. It's got to be a large staff.
In all positions on the field. And he had to accept a lot of suggestions in areas he didn't know a whole lot about, although he gets no pass on FISA.
Yes.
He gets no pass on Ukraine because he does, as you pointed out, he doesn't even know how many casualties have been incurred on the Ukrainian side. I mean, he's the second person in line for president after Kamala Harris. This is scary to me. He's basically getting moved around.
It's crazy. You said nothing he did in his life before this prepared him for it. But that itself may be kind of a more charitable explanation, because
I'm trying to be charitable.
I mean,
I got to go back to work
nothing
with
in your
him next
life
week.
prepared you for this. So just for those who don't know, you went to MIT, your high school girlfriend joined you at MIT, you married her while she was still there. And then together you started a company.
Okay, I think that they're getting into the next topic of how he got into politics. But yeah, there's your Massey Minute for this episode of the Dozer Den. Let me see if I had one more thing that I could kind of throw out there as a bit of a palate cleanser here at the end. It's all about the staff. That's right, Gene Mondano. All about the staff. Mm-hmm. Let me see. Here's what we'll have for a palate cleanser. It's a funny. It's from Freedom Tunes. Why not? Guys, before we do that, though, let's do a little bit of a recap of what we talked about tonight. We talked about Judge Cano getting arrested after he was canned from any judicial involvement in the state of New Mexico. He was harboring an illegal alien, knowingly harboring an illegal alien that was part of a gang. Fun times. It was an update to the Monday story that we covered on him. And I asked on Monday, why hadn't he been indicted? And then, by Thursday, look at what happened. Then we went on to talk about the OMG expose on Nicolas Turza, the branch chief in the Department of Defense under Hegseth, talking all kinds of trash on Hegseth and the Department of Defense. We then went through an exhaustive thread from Data Republican, thanks to Mike Benz for sharing that on X so that we could find it, and I put that link in the comments and in the live chat as well for anyone who wants to go look through that. That was exhaustive as far as, he was involved in that Global Leadership Council Coalition or whatever. I forgot what the GLBHC or something like that. Essentially, globalism and nonsense that the WEF is fond of. Bill Gates and George Soros fund this organization, and you have many establishment conservatives on the side of that. It is quite disheartening, quite frustrating. That's a rabbit hole that honestly I will need to read through that in more depth, because that kind of puts together a lot of the connections of why things are the way they are in our current state. So hopefully, with it being exposed and some very familiar names from the establishment right being on there, maybe something can be done about it. I just got a raid from Cancel This Podcast, though. We're wrapping it up. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for the raid. Absolutely amazing. We have a raid from Cancel This Podcast. Thank you so much for the raid. Guys, if you are new to this channel, follow Billdozer74. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Weekday shows, a little bit more news heavy. We've covered a lot today. We're at 3 hours and 30 minutes. And then I try to do a little segment I call the Massey Minute, because he's one of the most constitutionally consistent individuals in Congress. And we had our Massey Minute a little bit earlier. We talked about some things today, kind of doing a recap here at the end. We're wrapping it up here at the end of the stream. And then we're going to find somebody to raid on Rumble. I already picked somebody over there on pill.net. I forgot who I picked, though. I don't think it was Cancel This Podcast. I think it might have been Cancel This Podcast. So if I did that, I set up a raid for somebody who has stopped streaming. No. What did I do? No, I'm doing BrainPod. That's who I had selected. So BrainPod is who we're going to raid on pill.net. And let me see here. What's up, Tilted Wolf? Good to see you. Look at that. We got quite a few coming over here from Cancel This Podcast. Well, hello, everybody. Before we do the palate cleanser, we have, let's go ahead and do the Freedom Tunes clip. It's a good one. But let's finish with our recap. So we talked about the Judge Cano being arrested for harboring an illegal alien gang member in his house. Judges, guys, it's not like they're supposed to adhere to the law, right? Yeah. JB Pritzker, we talked about him trying to go hard against El Salvador because they are keeping one of their citizens. And we ranted a little bit about how the media has been consistently lying about this individual. The Maryland man misinformation. we could say. We then talked about, before that though, we talked a little bit about Pete Hegseth, how they're attacking him. We played that clip from Crowder. Crowder's getting exceedingly based on Rumble, by the way. I love to see this development, by the way. It's good to see. Good to see. Guys, if you haven't smashed that like button yet, guys, it's a very important button. Sometimes you need to have a little bit help finding that button, okay? That like button, it's very, very important, and it just sets things off, all right? Communication is key when you go looking for that button, all right? That like button, very important. And I get it. We get excited. We want to be extra supportive killdozers here in the Dozer Den. But if you must hit that like button more than once, hit it at least thrice. For if you hit it twice, it will cancel out your support for the Dozer Den, and we want to be proud killdozers here in the Dozer Den. If you would like to subscribe to Bulldozer 74 for a measly $5 a month, guys, you can subscribe to Bulldozer 74, and you will get access to a plethora of amazing subscriber-only emotes. I slaved away. My thumbs were practically raw by the time I was done. About 2 hours worth of putting together all those emotes, some animated, some not. And your name will be lit up in the most beautiful shade of MAGA red. We have my co-host here over to the side, Bobble Trump with his tinfoil hat fashioned by Lady Dozer, embracing old glory. And he's currently wearing an FJB wristband. I had it on my wrist for 3 years, but I finally took it off, and it has adorned the Bobble Trump. It's quite delightful. I think the demo rats chasing gang members and exposure and disclosure. That's clearly human traffickers. Kind of like that, yeah. But let's see, what else? We were going to talk about the COVID lab leak theory being confirmed by the White House, but we're at 3 hours and 35 minutes, so that is going to be saved for another show. I will be streaming again on Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central, and the cool thing about the Saturday stream is it's a decompressed stream. I might have one topic that's not really newsy necessarily, not all the time anyways. Most of the time it's kind of an aside, a palate cleanse topic, somewhat esoteric, sometimes UFO stuff, sometimes paranormal stuff. And then we do what I call the Dozer Den DJ Hour, where I take your music video requests throughout the stream. You could rock out with your cock out, jam out with your clam out. Those are the only two options you get. Everything else, statistically insignificant. But we have ourselves a good time. And yeah, it's a nice chill stream on Saturdays. So a little bit, there still may be some rants, because I am wont to rant at times. We've had a few good ones today, guys. We have. And I appreciate the heck out of the support that we have had today. We had a new sign up to... That's right, DJ Dozer. Sign up to the channel, a new monthly subscriber. That puts us up to 7 monthlies, I think. Actually, that puts us at 9 monthly active monthly subscribers, which is amazing. To all my monthly subscribers, thank you so much for the freaking support. I sincerely appreciate that. And let's see. I think we'll go ahead and we did our Massey Minute, and we're going to finish out with a bit of a palate cleanser. Here's a funny from Freedom Tunes about what's causing, what exactly is it that's causing toxic masculinity, y'all? What is it? Could we figure it out? What could it be?
This is Charles, one of the millions of teenage boys being radicalized against feminism. He told his teacher he didn't want to listen to her lecture on male privilege.
Teenage boys aren't listening to their teachers? This is a national emergency.
Don't worry. I'm pretty sure if we just get slightly overweight middle-aged women to lecture them about it, they'll get in line.
No, what's your problem with feminism?
I think...
Is it just too shocking to you that women are people?
Well, I think it's bad for men. I'm concerned about...
But you never had a woman tell you what to do.
Nope.
I'm not like other women. I'm not your mom. I'm not just going to roll over and take your
I'm concerned about divorce.
Then be a good husband.
I'm worried that...
If that even happens, it's your fault. You're just going to have to get over it.
Fine.
Are you listening to me? 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 Are you listening to me?
She's crushing it.
Are you listening to me? Are you listening? The world doesn't revolve around you.
I've seen people like this. It's hyperbolic, but there are people like this.
Get over it. I need you to write, the world doesn't revolve around me. I'm getting over it 10 times. Now, do it. I'm not your mom. You're holding your pencil wrong. Hold it like this. I'm not your mom. Like this. You're doing it wrong. Don't hold it that way. Society gives you too much privilege, and that's why you hold your pencil the wrong way.
Shut up! Whoa.
This isn't working.
Hold on, calm down. I've got this. Send in another slightly overweight middle-aged feminist.
Yes.
There, I've taken care of it.
That'll fix it.
Excuse me? Excuse me? Did I just hear you say that? Why did you act like that? Why did you write an apology note? That's right, you're being challenged for once. I'm not your mom. No, not like that. Hold it that way. You're holding your pencil wrong. I told him. He's holding his pencil wrong. I told him. Hold it that way. You spelled it wrong. You're spelling it incorrectly. Men think they can do whatever they want. You're doing it wrong. Spelling rules apply to men too.
Is it working?
Obviously, he's writing.
That's not sincere enough. That's not sincere enough. Make it more sincere. How am I supposed to know you're really sorry when you're holding your pencil like that? You can't push me around. I'm not your mom.
Leave me alone. Okay, everybody, stay calm. Hey, we're gonna need a third slightly overweight middle-aged woman in here.
A boy is doing something wrong in this room. I could fail it. Yep, holding his pencil wrong. Why isn't he more enthusiastic? You need to get with the program. Listen, and then you wonder why we have to scold you.
It's not working. We need at least 12 more slightly overweight middle-aged women.
Why can't it be a man?
Oh, the world owes his fragile male ego a male spokesperson?
Just try it for science.
Fine. Send in the manliest man you can find.
My brother, explain to them what they have done to me.
These women are not your mom.
Excuse
they are not
me?
going to take you.
Excuse
They are
me?
not
He said
other
what?
women.
I'm
You
not
cannot
your
push
mom.
women around. Why are you-
Seen male teachers that look almost just like that. It's sad.
I don't take your credit. I'm not your mom. Take your credit. I'm not your mom. You don't listen. You're not your mom. You don't listen, so you wonder why we have to.
Success. You just wonder what's making these guys so crazy in the first place.
You didn't do my half of the work for me? I'm telling the boss this was your fault.
You throw your coworker under the bus, I throw you under the bus.
Not
Learn to
a
take
real
accountability with Hollow. Hollow offers 2,000 guided prayers and meditations that help you grow closer to God in 5 days. Start with the world-famous Bible in a Year podcast with Father Mike Schmitz, which makes the depths of the Bible accessible every single day. Whether you're new to praying or have been doing it your whole life, Hollow's a great way to keep close to God. Hollow, say your prayers.
So based. All right, guys. Who are we going to raid on Rumble? We got a raid from Cancel This Podcast. Thank you so much for the raid. Sorry that we are wrapping the stream up, but hopefully you have enjoyed a little bit of time you have spent here, and hopefully you will consider following Bulldozer74. Help us get to 1,000, guys. We're getting closer. We're at 861. We'll get there at some point, someday, somehow, some way. It'll happen. Really appreciate the support, guys, for sure. In whatever way you were able to support this channel, I appreciate that. Let me check and see who we want to raid tonight. Might do Average Joe. Let's see if he's on. I think he is usually around this time. Do Adonis Paul, maybe. We haven't done an Adonis Paul in a while. You know what? Let's do Adonis Paul. There might be degeneracy. It's not Wednesday. Shouldn't be too wild. Let's check and see what this man is doing, though. Before we do it, it's Casual Thursday. Got police stuff. All right. Let's go ahead and rate it on Paul. Why not? It's been a while. Can I start over, Bill? Yeah, I'll start all over. We'll go to the if you like the little bit that you've seen. Apparently, I've been told that I'm somewhat entertaining and somewhat informative at times. Infotainment. That's the name of the game here on in the Dozer Den. Bulldozer74 is the channel. Well, thanks, Gene Mondano. I appreciate you. I could do a rerun. I probably could. But it's some of it would just not feel organic, though. Got to be honest. Oh, let's go ahead and set up this raid, and then we will play the song, the Dozer Den theme song. Good Lord, if I can get my mouse to do what I want it to do. Boom, there we go. /raid. And if you want to hang out and listen to the song, just click opt out. So it won't send you over to Adonis Paul, and we are going to rock out here at the end. And yeah, we have fun with the theme song. It's a good one. I'll play a minute or so of the theme song before I confirm the raid to an honest Paul, by the way. Appreciate you guys. Is a funny, a very disturbing. Yes. Yes, indeed. At times. All right, guys. Thank you so much. We're going to go ahead and play ourselves out here. Y'all are freaking awesome. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching. And hopefully we continue rolling our way through all the bullcrap, guys.
Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fight, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay. Flag in hand, fury in eyes, screams of pride, ignoring lies, iron grip, ruthless and cold, American dream, fierce and bold, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart, no retreat, no surrender, bulldozers force.
Wait. C-Dubs, what? They showed an actual suicide, like, of a girl hanging herself. All right, well, give me a second. I'm gonna find somebody else to raid. I know he gets a little extra, but that's sorry to interrupt the theme song, but I did not know that. That's fucked up. And what, really? Like that actually happened? I'm glad the song pops up in your head. Yes. Sorry to cancel there for a second, but just a sec. Shoot. I guess we got to restart the song. Dang it.
Land of power, land of might, exceptional rage, endless fight, patriot bulldozer, leading the way, crushing all foes, making them pay. Flag in hand, fury in eyes, screams of pride, ignoring lies, iron grip, ruthless and cold, American dream, fierce and bold, bow before the storm, unstoppable wave, marching forward, no soul to save, bulldozers wrath, tearing apart, exceptionalism, fire in the heart, no retreat, no surrender, bulldozers force, a savage offender, red, white, blue, burning bright, in the chaos he finds delight, blazing trails of destruction left, in the name of the blessed, the theft, freedom's price, a criminal marching forward, no soul to save. Bulldozers wrath, tearing apart. Exceptionalism, fire in the heart.
All right, that wraps up the show tonight. Yeah, just that just hit me a little bit. C-dubs whenever I don't know, for some reason it just hit me a little bit weird today. I'll probably rate Adonis Paul again because there's most of the shows are hilarious, and some when he gets to that gory stuff, I tune out. So I actually don't usually watch that stuff on Adonis Paul. Whenever that stuff starts happening, I don't watch. But yeah. No, I'll rate him another night. That one, just hearing that hit me wrong tonight. So I figured why not do Cool Frog. So guys, go and check out Cool Frog. And I will see you guys on Saturday at 9:30 p.m. Central. Y'all have yourselves a good one.